Hello and welcome to Midnight Podcast, and this week we have Yessik Ziiiq.
Sup?
We have Tim again. I
Hi.
think he was in one before. I mean, I know he was, but I can't remember if I uploaded the one he was in. And we have Lurkin again.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks a
I'm
lot.
sorry, I don't watch my own podcasts. Or listen to them, whatever. And we have LurkinMcClerkin.
What's up?
And, alright, we'll start with Yessik. I'm just going off of, Skype from right to left. What have you been playing this week, Yessik?
What have I been playing this week? That's a good question. To be honest, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter and just picking up games at random, to be honest. Like, I've played some God mode, even though it was absolutely awful.
Is it? That's such a shame. I thought it looked great. I mean, I haven't played any game. I haven't looked at any gameplay, and I haven't played it, so I didn't know. But I just thought it looked kind of cool.
Well, I thought it looked kind of cool too, and there's somebody I respected quite a bit said, hey, it's a pretty good game to pick up for an afternoon and play with some friends. But I played it on stream, and it just kind of killed the whole buzz.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. And other than that, everything.
That's everything?
Yeah, everything. No, I have a like a seed site that I go to find indie games, or a few of them. But a lot of the indie games are really weird. I've played one that I can't even remember the name, but I was picking up cactuses in like this dystopian world that told me about line on every billboard. And after like 20 minutes of picking up these cactuses, I was like, I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
Get me out of here. Anyways, that's about
What
it.
site are you using? I've used IndieDB and two other ones that I don't remember.
Okay, IndieDB is great. There is also one that a lot of devs use that you can just sort of keep track of them, but I can't seem to... Oh, yeah. TIG Source, the indie gaming source.
Okay.
The forums there are huge for indie devs, so you can get some really early access, some really early games, basically. But if you want free ones, there's free indie GAM.ES. And they generally post like 5-10 indie games a day that are entirely free and that are really strange.
That's interesting. Like, I'm looking at the free indie GAM one right now, and... Okay.
Yeah, this is actually one of the sites that Rock Lee Smile uses a lot as well.
Oh, is it? I was wondering
Yeah.
where he got most of his stuff.
Well, he gets them from a lot of places, but this is one that I've played a game on it, then seeing him come out with it like a day later, I'm like, oh, I know where you got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
do you want to talk about Monster Hunter? I don't think we've had any real official opinions on it on here yet. So
Monster Hunter is definitely not for everyone. It's has anyone on the stream other than me actually played
I
it?
played it a bit, but I mean, I haven't like heavily got into it. I mean, I've played the old ones a lot, but I haven't played the new one a lot.
Well, if you
Yeah,
played the old...
I haven't played it yet.
You haven't played it?
Nope.
Well, the thing is, it's a combination of a small amount of grinding. Some people would say a large amount of grinding, but I think it's a small amount of grinding with ludicrously hard as balls bosses. So it's a lot of fun to play, and it's a lot of fun to grind even, but if you fail once or twice, it really puts a damper on the whole experience. Because you're like, well, now I have to play it 2 more times. Each playthrough is 40 minutes. That's like 2 hours of my life wasted. So...
Now,
It gets-
I've probably talked about this on the podcast before because I express my feelings about this a lot, but I kind of like that punishing gameplay where you have to, if you fail at something, then you have to, and you wasted a ton of time, you have to do everything all over again. Kind of like roguelike games or whatever. But,
No, I entirely
Yeah,
agree with you.
I do like that too, but at some points I'll be like, I'll just put down the game and not touch it for a week. After you go through so much, though.
Well, I definitely think that there should be games that are high on punishment. There should be games that are not low on punishment, but a tiny bit more easy on things, and there always have been. Like Mario compared to Battletoads or something.
isn't there a character that if you play as in Battletoads, you can't even beat the game? Because you can't jump high enough?
I think so. And have you ever seen that like scooter level, the one where you have to memorize like a full like 3-4 minute pattern of like up down middle, dodge left, dodge right? It's
That
awful.
game is just crazy. So sorry about my silence
I-
earlier when I was describing how I like games or roguelike games. I got slightly distracted.
That's all right.
Anyway.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Okay. Back on the topic of Monster Hunter for a second. The reason I say it's not for everyone is because I tried to introduce a lot of people to it, and they're really impatient because they're more used to other modern console games that, they die, they might lose a minute of progress.
Uh-huh.
I don't like that at all. I think Monster Hunter is a great game, and what you have to realize about it is that it is not actually an action game as so much as it is a strategy game.
Yeah.
You have to be patient, you have to sit back and wait, you have to learn the strategies of each weapon, which are all crazy different.
They are very, very different.
Yeah. And you basically just have to have the patience. That's all.
Alright. So, are you done talking about that then?
Yeah, pretty much.
What have you been playing? Well, so that Lurkin's not last, what have you been playing this week, Lurkin?
Of course, as many people are watching me right now, I've been playing a lot more of Fallout New Vegas. I've actually been coming up with different challenges for people to play, also playing those challenges myself.
Talk about your Meat Man challenge.
I will talk about the Meat Man challenge. I came with this challenge while playing the game. It was just, I was getting really tired of the game because I have beaten the game around 15 times. I got a little bored of it, so I decided I've never done a cannibal playthrough. I've never played it on hardcore. My challenge was just to get people back into the game because I also saw on Reddit that people were getting bored. They didn't know what to do with the game. My Man Meat challenge goes like this. You play it on hardcore. You must have the cannibal perk. You cannot sweet talk your way through the game. Some perks are limited. Other perks are completely... you cannot even get... You can't put certain skill points in. Also, since I reduce your intellect down to 1, the points you get when you level up are extremely limited. And then at the same time, you have an option to remove certain rules that I've put on the game, but that lowers the score that you receive when you complete it.
Do you want to...
That is a crazy challenge.
Yeah, it's really tough. I'll actually, I'll let Lurkin link you to it.
Okay, yeah. If you want me to link it or you want me to read it out?
You can just link it to him. I mean, I don't care if there's a Skype noise on my podcast. Alright, so what else have you been playing? Or do you still want to talk about that even further, the challenge?
No, that's fine. And this is gonna be really crazy. I've been playing a lot more. Pronounced Racketeer.
Actually, I think Yessik was just... Was it you, Yessik, that just played that recently?
Racketeer. That sounds really familiar, but I play so many games a week I can't remember.
It's the game that you are the little girl and you take over your father's shop. And you sell different items and stuff to...
Yes, I just pronounced it entirely differently. It makes more sense as Racketeer.
Because it looks like Reciteer. But the girl, because it looks like that. But the girl in the game's name is Raquette, and the little fairy who's running her is named Tear. And in the game, that's their name put together on the sign.
That does make sense.
Well, that makes a lot more sense than what I kept trying to call it.
So what were you calling it?
And Reciteer, because that's how it looks like it's pronounced if you're going to use proper rules of English.
Okay.
At least the Canadian ones where we say Z, not Z, like... Never mind.
Go ahead. Insult people if you want. Insults are welcome.
Well, I was actually going to call the American way the sane way, but I just couldn't bring myself to.
Oh, okay.
Because I find most American culture to be completely batshit crazy.
Because it is.
Yes.
A lot of it is.
So I've just... American and sane in the same sentence really made my mind twist around backwards. I was like, no.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I was thinking.
So, Lurkin?
After Racketeer, I've been playing Path of Exile. trying to stay away from the whole dungeon crawler game because once I get into one, I seem to be lost in it forever.
To a lot of people.
Diablo 3 took a huge amount of time of my life.
Aren't you still
when it
playing
came out? I still am playing Diablo 3. But I played a little bit of Path of Exile this week, and it's just the variety of how you play that game. Just it captured me so quickly into it. So I'm really, really, really enjoying that. Other than that, I've been playing.
Sorry, on the subject of RPGs and quickly veering on to MMOs, has anyone been looking at any Neverwinter?
Yeah, I have.
I want
The
to do
combat
that.
system in that looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, just ludicrously good. Like a really good action RPG mixed with an MMO.
Actually, they just had another beta weekend, didn't they? Oh crap!
Yeah, but what?
I just had one of their trailers play for half a second. I hope I don't get sued.
I'm pretty sure that'll fall under fair use.
Okay, good.
I'm fairly certain you're allowed to use up to 10 seconds of any song.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Or it might have been 3 seconds, but who knows?
Okay, well, I only used like literally half a second, so that's fine.
Yeah. It seems about right.
You guys can't hear my fan, can you? Okay.
No.
It's all
My
good.
fan gets
Is
loud.
there any
sometimes.
background noise?
She is ugly.
Who's
I'm
ugly now?
We're not even
So
talking
this
about games
podcast is
anymore.
going off the rail.
I'm going. No. It's just like I said. I'm streaming at the same time, and I kind of went chop style on one of these Jackal gang leaders, and her face glitched out when I went into VATS. So she looked like she was on
Oh,
crack.
so you're actually playing
I
New
have-
Vegas while we're talking.
Yeah, I'm
have a
still
bit of a
doing the
story
meat
about-
vein challenge.
I have a bit of a story about New Vegas. It isn't much of a story, but I find it rather amusing, so I'm going to hijack this whole thing and tell
Go
it
for it.
anyways.
Do it.
Basically-
we love Vegas.
Okay. Basically, the first time I was playing through as a melee only class, and like near the beginning of the game, I picked up the what was it called? It's a rebar mace, and that was like my favorite weapon almost till the end of the game. But I picked it up super early and waded into like this whole camp where there was apparently like this bandit hostage situation going on.
I think I know what camp you're talking about.
Yeah. And outside the camp, they're like, well, we're not sure if you should go in there. And at the time, I was just like, fuck it. So I rolled in and just beat the hell out of everybody with a rebar mace, I think including the hostage. And for some reason, just can't help but think, in real life, if that happened... Can you imagine if you were the cop, like, guarding that, being like, there's a hostage situation, and some fucker just, like, barges through with a rebar club and beats the hell out of everyone?
Now, would that actually...
Including the hostage.
Do you think that would be weirder if it was actually in the post-apocalypse like that? I can't find my Kindle charger. Never mind, that's off topic. Do you think that would be weirder if that happened actually in, like, real life? Well, never mind. I can't even talk. So... Never mind. Just forget it.
Post-apocalyptic or real
Yeah.
life?
Do you think it'd be which one do you think it'd be weirder in?
Well, to be honest, I think it would be slightly stranger in post-apocalyptic because in real life, that would come. Okay, this makes no sense. But in real life, it would catch you more off guard and therefore be more just horrible.
I mean, some pretty off-guard things have been happening recently. Like that bomber guy just got caught, I think today or yesterday, and he was singing on a boat.
I was watching it on TV last night, and I have to say, like, I'm really sorry about going off topic on this. I have to say it was a pretty exciting situation, but the guy reporting it was probably the most boring human being in the entire world.
We are so off topic.
Because how do you ruin a situation like that? Because it's just like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? As you can see,
The bomber is on.
we have no idea who's inside the boat. Wait! My Twitter page is reloading. It says that we got them. All right.
What news channel were you watching?
I was watching CBS because it was on TV at the time.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not turning it.
Anyway, we're way off topic. Let's get back to.
It sounds like Red Letter Media. Have you guys ever seen that guy and his Star Wars reviews?
No, I haven't heard of him. Is he like on
It's
YouTube?
like
Or?
William. No. It's like William Shakespeare says, brevity is the soul of wit. It's awful.
All right.
Wow.
No, look up Red Letter Media, and he has the best Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3 reviews. They are great.
I'll look those up.
Back on topic. Next.
All right. What else have you been playing? Lurkin?
Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm sorry.
That's it?
I'm sorry. I'm doing the man meat challenge, and my character's ass is just so enticing. I mean, no, that's just about it.
All right.
Just too many. Just playing too much of the few games.
Okay. I bet I can.
But check out that ass.
That ass.
Are you watching a stream right now, Yessik?
No. I just wanted to say that. I should go check it out. Link me to that shit.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys exactly what Tim has been playing this week. And I'm not even going to let him say. I'm just going to straight up tell. I'm just kidding. But I do know Castlevania and Pokemon.
Really? No way. Pokemon?
Yeah, big surprise. He hasn't been talking about it this whole... Did he actually talk about it on the podcast yet?
No, but he talked about it for like 15 minutes beforehand.
No, it was more than 15 minutes, I think. It was like the whole entire time you were in the chat.
I was raging at a emulator of Pokemon because I can't find Volbeat Derp.
I don't even remember what Pokemon is Volbeat. I remember Vulpix.
And I personally don't know what that Pokemon is at all. I've finally come to terms with an ecosystem that has 150 animals being stupid, but I still can't memorize them.
I have the same problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tim, tell me what games you're playing.
Besides that, I've just basically played the last story, Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, Xenoblade Chronicles, and Castlevania, Lord of Shadows, Mirror of Fate.
Did that Castlevania game just come out?
I'm not sure. It looks like it, yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think they picked it up, they picked up the fighting style and stuff from Lord of Shadows for the Wii, and they basically just crammed it into the 3DS game.
See, that actually kind of interests me. I've never been a huge Castlevania fan. I guess I kind of like that side-scrolly kind of thing, but I hate how you have to backtrack all the time to get items that you have to have just to continue. I just never found that appealing.
Yeah,
by the way, Lurkin, now I'm recording your scream as the background of the podcast.
Because I'm sitting here drinking from a bathtub.
Yep, that would be it.
And I'm pretty sure whatever was in that bathtub was probably bleach.
I forgot that you were even recording the backup, Yessik. All right, so drinking. Okay, never mind. Almost dropped everything on my computer. Man, never mind. Tim, what else have you been playing?
Like I said, I've been playing Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and that game is... I had a lot of fun with it, like, compared to the GameCube version.
So you think it's better than the GameCube version?
No.
Well,
Actually, no.
Version had its flaws.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, I enjoyed the GameCube version so much more than the 3DS version. But the 3DS versions did have its, what do you call it?
Imperfections?
Imperfections and the good thingies, whatever.
I haven't played the 3DS one much.
My main problem with Nintendo currently can be brought up in like just a couple words. Touch screens.
Now that you bring it up,
Why?
they are quite obsessed with touchscreens.
I know.
Get your smudgy fingers all over your screen, Lord.
And they make controls awkward. They don't make menu navigation much easier. Even if they were used for that, which they never fucking are. Sorry. Anyways, I'm interrupting. Keep going with your games.
I think you're right, though, Yessik. Yeah, Nintendo's being derp.
I mean, if you want to trail off on that, Yessik, you can.
Well, to me, it's almost as stupid as you guys remember the Virtual Boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. To hell with that thing. It's like, Nintendo has always been all about the gimmicks, whether it be like really bad black and red 3D, which black and red 3D, if you ever want to look at it, it will give you a headache faster than anything else on this planet.
Somebody was actually telling me the other day how that actually gave people cancer or something.
Oh God!
Who was that? I can't remember who was telling me about that.
Somehow I don't doubt that. But I've always had a bit of respect for Nintendo, no matter what type of crazy crap they pull. So, the Nintendo 64, it might not have seemed like a gimmicky system, but the controller? You don't have 3 hands. Why is there a 3-handed controller? Why wouldn't you just
Well, see, it's made for
D-pad and
Asians
the
like
analog?
Tim who do have 3 hands.
Oh
It's just
man,
surprised that Asians have 3 hands.
can you
Shut up, Matt.
Can you send me to a doctor who will actually give me a 3rd hand? Because I would really like to be able to properly hold the Nintendo controller one time.
It would be nice to hold one correctly.
Everybody
What
knows.
is wrong with you people?
Everybody knows that all Asians have an extra joint in their hands, which allows them to play games better than us, like StarCraft.
It's true.
That's true. Well, that's
No, there's-
specifically Koreans.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I see how it is, Yessik. I see how it is.
Because that's actually a job.
Tim. Yeah, it is insane how big like watching video games and stuff is over in Korea. Like,
I'm sorry, but have you heard of the guy who died while playing StarCraft 2?
yeah, that kind of stuff happens like
Yes, I
all the
did.
time. Like,
Or the guy who
Because he didn't go home for about 3 days, and he was just playing,
Yeah,
StarCraft.
he had a private room.
yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff happens like all the time with stuff with games over there though, because that video games to them is like baseball to Americans. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Like, everybody watches it. It's people do it for jobs. It's crazy. I mean, people do it for
Well,
jobs
to be
here too, but whatever.
To be honest, does anyone actually follow the StarCraft scene in this group other than me? I follow a bit.
I do. I haven't seen. I don't follow many players. I watch Stefano. He's actually one of my favorite players to watch. I think that's really it. That's all
Well,
I really watch.
To be honest, one of my favorite players is White Raw and his special tactics. But that's besides the point. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, even though it's mostly in Korea, there are players here that just in winnings make like 50,000, 80,000 a year.
It's absolutely crazy.
And on top of the winnings, they do get paid a wage by their team.
Yeah.
So you can make a fair amount of money if you're good at StarCraft.
Or if,
But do
even
not
if
delude
you're
yourself.
good at commentating about it. How much money do you think Husky actually makes?
Oh, I can almost give you a on-the-dot number.
Oh, can you?
Well, okay, generally, if you're on he runs his own channel. Like, not his own channel, he runs his own network.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Did you know that? Okay. So he makes the money off that network, which is, I think, 20 to 40% of what every other channel on the network makes, and he has a lot of good StarCraft commentators on his network.
Okay.
So there's that start, which I'm not even going to calculate, but then he does have about, I think he's currently getting about 300,000 views a day. 100,000 views a day basically equals a full-time wage.
Yeah.
So without his own network, which he does run, he's making about 3 full-time wages a day.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to be that famous.
Hey, I like Husky. He's funny.
Yeah, he
Funny
is.
guy.
I've only seen like maybe 2 or 3 of his episodes because like I just didn't state. I don't keep up with StarCraft stuff. I have a problem with a lot of RTSs. I'm not really going to go into it, but
If you're going to watch any Husky, watch Bronze League Heroes. It is goddamn hilarious. He casts Bronze League games and just like the worst of Bronze League games. So it's like proxy
Dude, are you
plant-
even plat?
what?
Have you ever heard that?
No.
It's like, dude, are you even plat? Meaning, plat rank in StarCraft.
Oh, see, like I said, I don't keep up with StarCraft like at all.
Yeah, but no, there's this guy who's like he's been playing for what? All of StarCraft whenever it came out, and he's just like, I'm sick and tired of this, I'm quitting. And then the next comment is just like, dude, are you even plat?
Well, was he plat?
But yeah, he was, but it was just a troll thing.
Okay, so it's almost like the do you even lift thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt, do we have to explain sarcasm?
You do. I don't know. I don't even know how to spell the word sarcasm. I'm just kidding.
I highly recommend anyone that's here watch Bronze League Heroes. It is some of the most hilarious RTS strategy you'll ever see. I've seen somebody lift up their entire base, move it over to the opponent's base, land it, turn it into a base that can shoot, a planetary fortress, and then win. And it's like...
I think the last game I ever played was the best game I ever played. It was at that moment. It's like one of those moments where that's the best I could do. Fuck it, I'm quitting. Because I won a game, and I'm sorry for going off topic again. I won a game, and I sent my entire army over to the guy's base. He was Zerg Terran. He demolished every single one of my units except one. Except one.
Did you say Unix?
Yeah, because after he was done with them, they didn't have any testicles left. So he destroyed them all, and except for one, which was a ghost. And I was still stealth. I was able to stay away from his units that could see through stealth. And then I just saw an entire army of freaking banelings. Now, the sheer amount of banelings he had was just enough to roll up in my base and just destroy everything.
Now, I gotta say, while you're telling this story, like, since I don't know anything about StarCraft, like, when you say stuff like banglings, I'm just, like, imagining a bunch of little Smeagol's running up, and, like...
Okay, banelings are these...
Sorry, keep going.
Banelings are these little green dudes that explode, and when they explode, they put acid on everything, and they can really fuck up a game.
Roly suicide bombers.
Yes.
Okay.
So he had a bunch of those, and so I put my ghost right at an intersection between two platforms. They had to go through this little tiny hole to get out of his base. There were so many banelings they could not push past my ghost. My ghost started doing a missile launch right on top of his entire mass of banelings. He had so many banelings he didn't see the reticle up under them, and so when the bomb came and blew them all up, he messaged me. He said, "Fuck it, I'm not rebuilding any more of this shit," and he gave up.
Now, is there actually a penalty if you quit online for that?
No.
It's a loss.
Okay. Because I just hate it when I'm playing a game and, like, people just quit and it doesn't count towards me and it doesn't count against them. I just hate that.
What game are you playing?
I don't remember any of these games, but I just get so mad when that kind of stuff does happen.
I know Civilization did that.
Generally, I would actually count on people leaving the game out of anger to win, because I sucked. Like, I suck a lot, but I'm good enough to deny attacks over and over again, so people will attack me, and I'll just be like, no, I can just barely take care of your force. Then they'd attack me again, and I can be like, no, just barely take care of it. And after, like, the third or fourth time, they're like, fuck it, I quit! And I'm like, victory.
That does sound like a good tactic to win.
Yeah. It works as long as you're not in, like, Diamond or Masters or any of the higher leagues.
Or even Plat.
Or even Plat.
Alright, what else?
Anyways.
What was...
We should probably move on to, like, another topic or more games.
We should. Tim, did you have any other games, or did you want to say anything?
Well, like I said, I played The Last Story, which is actually a Wii game, and I enjoyed that. It's been a while since it came out, but it was interesting.
I've never even heard
good
of
music.
I've heard good things.
Really?
Not many people have heard of it.
Was it a Japanese RPG?
Yeah, basically, but it came out for the Wii in English.
You said The Last Story?
Yeah.
Actually, the cover looks familiar.
Kind of more of an action RPG than a regular RPG, if I remember properly. Like,
Yep.
it had... Yeah.
Oh, this screenshot actually looks like I would enjoy this combat.
Yeah, the combat's interesting, and you do have to use some tactics, just not beat the crap out of everything.
Tactics are fun.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
No,
And then there's Xenoblade Chronicles, which is really fun, and the music is great. I don't know what Nintendo has with British voice actors nowadays, but there's a lot of British voice actors, or Australian for that matter, or Canadian.
I know I'm going off the topic list again
Doesn't
here,
matter.
but I have like Steam and like 13 different wikis open, and I just thought of more topics that are kind of awesome.
All right.
Nice.
A, is anyone looking forward to Monaco as much as I am? And B, what do y'all think about Papa EO? Or does anyone even know about it?
Just give me 2 seconds to look at it.
I don't know what the words you said
Wait,
were
what?
even
What?
human.
I don't even.
English.
The indie gaming channel here. Come on, indie
Yeah,
games.
I know indie games, so I think Papa
I'm
and
sorry,
Yo looks
yes,
pretty.
like,
or
I'm a bit out of date.
I think Papo and Yo looks pretty neat.
It's well, the thing is, it's a Portuguese game. It's actually a life story about the art director of the game, and him dealing with his alcoholic father.
Is that supposed to be the big pink ogre thing?
Yes, that is a big pink ogre thing.
That's what his father represents, though.
Yes, but it's been a bit critically panned because it's not very difficult for a puzzle platformer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people aren't understanding the point of the game. It's actually supposed to be story driven,
Yeah.
not.
I hate it when
Here's
people
the most.
get so confused between Never mind. I'm not even gonna go on that.
Between narratives and like gameplay, you can sacrifice one for the other, and you can sacrifice the other for the other. You know what I mean? You can have one or the other, or
Yeah,
both.
you can.
But if you want to really focus on the story, sometimes it's actually a good thing to sacrifice gameplay to make the story more prominent or to make it flow
I
faster.
completely agree. I think that game looks absolutely beautiful, though. Also,
Oh yeah, I love how it's like it all takes place in like the slums of Brazil, I think.
it looks like it.
Beautiful. For some reason, the slums in Brazil are just like the nicest looking slums on the face of the planet.
It's true though.
I'm sorry to anyone who's living in the slums of Brazil, but you're probably not watching anyways because it's unlike you of internet.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, okay. Well,
Oh no,
well,
actually,
okay.
I do have one
well, Max
subscriber
Payne-
from Brazil.
But Max Payne 3 did that though.
Max, did it?
Yeah.
It sacrificed gameplay?
No. The slums of Brazil.
Oh, the slums of Brazil. Oh yeah. Well, I don't blame them.
I mean,
It's a-
you do get robbed there, but I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Oh, it's excellent. As long as you don't bring in too much money and you don't mind being unconscious for the rest of the evening, it's fine.
Sounds
Wake
like a
up and
great
your
place to
ass
visit
is-
on your honeymoon.
I actually did do a fair amount of best movie you've ever played. That is a weird question, Nauda, from the live stream.
Oh, you're live streaming?
No, yeah.
Wait.
He's talking about Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3. No. Freaking Heavy Rain was the best movie I've ever played.
Oh my god, I love that game.
I love it too, but I have to admit the shaving and showering minigame were a bit fucking much.
Yeah.
Also, the changing the diaper minigame was a tiny bit weird.
Wait, when did you change a diaper in that?
When you go to the, I think it was the second victim's house, and
Oh,
you
I
find out
remember. I
she's
remember.
Okay. I'm not okay. Damn, I just almost spoiled the game for a lot of people.
It's okay if they haven't played that game by now. Then
They're probably not going to play
they
it.
probably won't play it.
They probably will though.
But they'll probably still be angry that you almost spoiled it.
I don't care if I have
Yeah.
a million dislikes and people are like, "This guy gives spoilers."
No, are you kidding? A million
You're
dislikes?
watching-
You'd be the
you're-
biggest thing on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
You're
I would
watching-
be.
You're watching a freaking you're watching a video about guys talking about games. If you weren't expecting spoilers, what the hell are you
For
doing?
real though. Well, what was the other indie game you were talking about, Yessik?
Monaco, and I can't believe nobody.
No, that sounds
is
really
immediately-
familiar. Is it out yet?
No, it's actually out April 24th, but it's currently on like the Steam highlight page. But it got a lot of press really early on because it's like this really cool cooperative bank robbing simulator where you can either play couch co-op or regular co-op, and you can be like one of 7 or 8 different classes. Like you can be the mole who burrows through walls, and it's like this really cool top-down perspective thing. Very graphically simple though, but really awesome looking game. And unlike Payday the Heist, you don't just kill every cop who has ever existed.
In 5 minutes, you've already killed like every cop, and they just keep recycling.
And I just wonder that just about every game that I play. Like, what's the logic behind that? Okay, every single time we sit a bunch of guys in there, they die. So what's the logical thing? Send more guys.
It's a fun game.
Man.
I thought it was fun though.
Payday the Heist, actually pretty fun, but it's kind of silly.
It is very silly.
Yeah.
And I especially appreciate like the hat shots. Like every time you shoot somebody in the head, their hat goes flying off into the distance, without exception, in the exact same way. Kind of awesome.
Did I already talk about the games I played this week?
No.
Wow, I feel terrible about that. I'm gonna have to just run through that because we've been talking about this forever. Hang on, pulling it up on Steam. All right, I've been playing some more Crater. Not gonna talk about that because I talked about that forever ago. Been playing Warframe. That's new.
I like Warframe a lot.
Do you want to talk about it or?
Well, I just like it. I like almost everything about it. I like how it's pay to play, or you can pay in if you want, but you can also get all the exact same things just by playing and not even all that much.
Yeah. The only thing I
It's a
didn't
good
like
game.
about it though is the people that do pay, because I was playing with randoms one time, and if you do pay, you can just instantly. It's almost pay to win. Honestly, it's kind of frustrating playing with randoms, or I thought so.
Which is why every time I've played it so far, and this is horrible bastardization of this term, I play couch co-op.
Yeah.
And the reason I call it couch co-op is because I actually get both of us sitting on the couch playing the game. I can have 2 computers right in front here. So officially speaking, it's still couch co-op. Fuck you guys. And talking to the commenters, not anyway. Yeah, so basically, as long as you're playing with friends and you're not paying to win, it's a really good experience.
fun.
There's not a huge amount of grind.
Yeah. So
Pretty fun.
play it. It's free to play.
Yeah.
Don't buy items if you're gonna play with. Never mind. Been playing BioShock Infinite some more because it's like my favorite game ever. Not gonna really talk much about that because I talked about it on.
I did, I did hear about a lot of, what do you call it, like religious and racial controversies for
super
BioShock.
racist. Just so you know. I mean, it's not.
Oh
like,
yeah,
It's not as super racist, but I mean, it's.
yeah. I know it's no secret, but there's a lot of people who are like, kind of, I guess, kind of bitching.
Yeah,
over
we
it.
actually have a
actually-
topic sort of on that later. But what were you saying yet?
Okay. Never mind. I was about to go off topic onto the topic that's for later, I think.
Yeah, we'll just save it for later. We'll hit that first once I finish my games for this week.
After you finish, I have one more game that I've been playing that I forgot
Okay.
about. Okay.
So many games.
I've been playing Don't Starve a bit. I actually have sort of been neglecting my
love
channel
that
this
game.
week just because I've been really busy with classes and stuff. So for anybody that's actually watching this that pays attention to my videos, I'll have more Don't Starve eventually or whatever. So I played a little bit of Planet Side 2. There's some of that. Did you want to say something about Don't Starve, Yessik?
Oh, I understand the Don't Starve thing. I'm still getting comments on episode 51 being like, where's the Don't Starve?
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. I don't care.
It's fun though. I mean, it's fun if you like survival games.
I'm waiting for the
mean,
release
okay.
in order to actually play it and beat it.
Yeah, I'm looking
this
forward
point.
to actually beating it also. My girlfriend actually just started playing it the other day, and she got completely addicted to it.
Yeah, it does that.
And that was my Kindle,
Yeah.
if you could hear that.
I kind of heard
It's
it.
almost
I
dead.
heard something.
Anyway, I've been playing Planet Side 2. I got a video of that. So anybody that cares, watch that. I don't care if you don't care. Playing Binding of Isaac, XCOM, and apparently I played Unreal Development Kit, but I don't remember that. Then I have to go to all the indie games I played this week. I played Block, That was some game about a
Oh
chicken.
God! Did you find that on my channel?
No, I did see it on your channel, but it just so happens I actually played that like a day before you had done that.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
How?
I
And why did? So that was the most ridiculous video I've ever had that's blown up to even a small extent.
Yeah, that was a weird game. Like, I don't know, but for people watching, it's this game where you're a chicken watching TV and flipping through channels on your TV, and basically you have to control your heart rate with Z. And I'm still kind of confused if you were supposed to have your heart rate going at the beat of the heart, or if you were trying to do it to the television clicking, or I still don't understand. I just died a ton, and oftentimes I would just click Z as fast as I could.
But it was often enjoyable despite
It was enjoyable.
that. It was weird.
It's free for anybody that wants it. I'm going to link it once this video's up. Sorry for people in the live stream. You can look it up. Bwak, B-W-A-K. It's probably on IndieDB, I think.
Oh man, I should actually be live streaming this crap.
You could if you wanted. Although you didn't do an announcement or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's too late. I'd get like 10 people eventually, and they'd all be like, "What? Why no Monster Hunter? Where is this? Who are these people?" I'd be like, "Shut up!
Shut up and just watch it, or listen, whatever." All right, so I was playing Good Morning Commander. I also have a video of that. At first, when I played it, I was really confused because oftentimes when I pick up an indie game, I don't actually like research it at all. I look at a screenshot and think, if I like the screenshot, then I'll play it. So I downloaded the game and I started playing it, and I had absolutely no idea what to do. It was very atmospheric, though. Like, it was really cool, like, sounds in the game, and I found out from a commenter that commented on my video about it that there are actual objectives to do. There's not really anything that tells you that there's objectives, though. So I was basically, you go around to these 4 space stations and get flashbacks about aliens. I didn't do all 4 of the space stations, though. I only did 1 of them. And so I guess you get the story of the game through those flashbacks. So I'm not really familiar with the story. But I played Hubris. I didn't remember the game. Okay, that's what I did Unreal Development Kit with. I beat that game in about 2.5 minutes. I was recording a YouTube video on it, but beat it in 2.5 minutes. I'm really like lingering with what games I played, so I'm not going to really talk about any. I played Mainichi. I don't even know what that is, but I played it. I played Boredom. That game, that game is tough.
I've seen Boredom.
That game is so tough. If you've played that, then you're the man. I couldn't even beat the first boss. It was hard. Just
You might even be the guy.
it's almost as hard as that game.
No, almost, not
Yeah,
quite.
but it's almost as hard as that game. I'd say the boss was as hard as that game. The boss and Boredom was as hard as I Want to Be the Guy.
I also have to mention, I can't help but see, Lurkin, that you've got yourself a rebar club there.
I just found it in a pile of dirt.
That is one of the best weapons in the game, in my opinion. Take care of it.
No, because the guy who I'm about to go and beat a skull in with this, he has a bumper sword, so I'm going to use that.
Oh.
How are you finding a bumper sword that early in the game?
You
It's
get it from
easy.
Dawson.
I don't remember who Dawson is.
He's basically actually I'm currently watching him do the exact same thing as on my first playthrough, which is kind of weird.
Naked with a cowboy hat and a rebar glove.
I didn't
Dude,
have the
you-
cowboy hat,
dude,
but I wasn't
am-
able.
I wish I
naked
could
and had to-
subscribe to you 3 more times.
I mean, technically you can make dummy accounts. Does YouTube have a way of getting
Except-
rid of dummy accounts?
Yes,
No.
and they do it
Well,
all
they-
the time, and often they aren't even dummy accounts, and they subscribe to you a month later, and are like, "What happened? I was subscribed to you, and then I wasn't," and you're like, "Yeah, fucking."
Oh, they probably just it's
YouTube.
probably just some bot that determines whether you've watched them recently then or whatever. I don't know. YouTube, work on that, or Google, whatever.
Oh, it was the strangest playthrough of Borderlands ever.
Borderlands.
Sorry, Borderlands. I'm mixing up my games. Fallout. Borderlands, also awesome. Also, the only society that it makes sense to have vending machines selling guns.
Wait.
Not-
So wait. BioShock didn't make sense with selling guns?
BioShock, no. BioShock selling guns and vending machines made no sense because the vending machines selling guns were in an idyllic, peaceful society, and not everyone had guns.
You
No,
work
the
for
entire
the
thing-
sweat on your brow.
But the entire thing about the civilization was doing what you want. And
Yes,
actually
it's
doing
just
what
slightly-
you want.
Okay, but the thing is, it's all doing what you want, and it's all free market, right? There isn't that much demand for guns. They shouldn't be in vending machines. The vending machines should sell goddamn Snickers. That's what they should be selling.
They'd make more money then. All right,
Yeah,
do you think that
because
this is way off topic, and people are probably like clicking out of the stream as soon as I bring this up? But do you think Snickers actually makes more money than gun sales?
You know what? I would not be surprised if they didn't.
there was the whole Rapture Civil War, but
Well,
even during the Rapture
now-
Civil War, did they put the gun machines up during the Rapture Civil War? When did they put up these gun vending machines?
They-
Why were they up, and who were they selling to? What was their target?
Well, that's the thing, because during the Rapture Civil War, that was the way for Rapture, like the big money makers to make their money was to sell guns to everybody.
It was up before and during the Rapture Civil War.
But it was up before?
Yes,
Then it makes no sense.
because I think it was before anyway. Because I only know this because of the BioShock 2 multiplayer. Because that was the Civil War, and so the gun shops were up then. So
I do actually want to clarify, though. I don't think that the existence of one or two gun vending machines makes no sense. The existence of gun vending machines every, 200 yards makes no sense.
that's true.
The
Come back when you
prevalence.
get some money, buddy.
Oh, what's some of the other things they say in the new BioShock? I don't know if well, I know you've played it, Lurkin, but I don't know about you, Tim, or you, Yessik. But they actually have some. I can't even think of the word. Man, I am so brain dead whenever I do a podcast. It's terrible. Anyway, they actually have some references.
Guys.
What?
I have good news.
You just grew some pubic hair.
Poor Tim.
No,
That's always good
Shut
news.
Wait, did you steal mine?
I found a Volbeat.
Oh, still there. Never mind.
Congratulations, Tim. Now I'm going to continue my story. So, some of the
Okay.
machines in BioShock Infinite actually reference some of the exact same things that were said in the original BioShock. I mean, they don't say the exact same thing, because I feel like that would just be recycling dialogue, and I'd be so mad at them for that, because that's something I can't usually stand. Unless they make it work. But that wouldn't have worked, because it's like a totally different universe. Anyway, but they would say stuff like, come back, fella, when you get cash or something. I don't know. But I don't know, it just felt nice, some of the little things they would throw in there that kind of pointed towards the original BioShock. I really loved that game. I wasn't going to talk about
Okay.
BioShock, but it ended up happening.
Before anyone in the comments says so, yes, I did watch the Spoonie review, and it was hilarious. I know I'm going to bring up more things that he said in that review, so
I don't mind.
just
What's
forewarning people. What's Spoonie?
Yeah.
Oh man, he's like one of the oldest goddamn. He and
One of
like
the
Wait,
oldest
isn't he
goddamn-
one of the original Let's Players or whatever?
he's like the father of fucking Let's
Yeah.
Players, or one of them at least. There's like 5 or 6 guys who started doing it years ago, and he's one of them.
Okay. You should
Yeah.
look him up, Lurkin,
Mazors.
and subscribe to him too.
Oh, don't subscribe to him. He has his own website. He doesn't use YouTube
Oh, he
mostly.
doesn't? See, I
no.
thought he did. All right then.
He uses Blip and advertises on his site. Makes a lot more money that
Well,
way.
do all that, Lurkin.
Well, excuse me.
All right, so we're
Call-
gonna move on.
Excuse me, princess.
I'm a princess.
Apparently,
boy,
nobody has
that's
watched
news
the.
to me.
Apparently, nobody here has watched the old Zelda cartoons.
Oh, I watched
have-
those, but I was like so little then, I don't remember anything.
Oh.
But anyway, I played a
They're-
bunch of other indie games, but I'm not gonna go through naming them all because we've already wasted so much time.
Okay, wait, quick, before we go on. I played a lot of Bridge Project.
Oh right, I forgot to ask you the game.
12 hours of Bridge Project.
Now, what exactly is Bridge Project?
Bridge Project is probably one of the worst simulators and best simulators I've ever
Could
seen.
it be worse than Surgeon Simulator 2013?
It's actually good in the exact same way. Because basically the best part of Bridge Project is how seriously you treat building the bridge, and then how horribly it gets wrecked the second a single tank tries to drive over it.
So it's like that one.
Wait.
It was like an iOS game or something. Oh, what was it? I don't even remember. But I remember like it would be like, do this to make a structural support. And so you would do that exact thing, and then as soon as like a tank or a truck would drive over it, it just busted. And like no matter what the tutorial told you, there was like no way. It was crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. You can build the bridges in this, and the scale that sorry, regurgitating a bit, but the difficulty ramps up ridiculously fast.
So is the bridge building anything like World of Goo's building?
No, it's a lot more actual technical and bridgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, World of Goo got frustrating sometimes.
World of Goo, to be honest, I think that game is overrated to shit. I don't like it that much.
I thought, usually when it comes to a scoring system, there's a lot of things in games I hate. Why do I like games at all? I'm just kidding, I love games. But seriously, the scoring system in that, I hate scoring systems in a lot of things. So when that came up, I was like, oh, I gotta get it, because I'm very OCD when it comes to games. So I'm like, I gotta get the high score. I gotta get blah blah blah. Like I'm sitting there playing through a game, and I just gotta get every single thing. I guess that goes back to the thing I was saying earlier, where I like to milk a game for every single penny it has or whatever. But that just made it so frustrating, me playing World of Goo. And I think the game looked great and it had fun gameplay, but just the scoring just killed me. Which I love how they improved on that with their next game. Oh, what was it? Little Inferno. We're going to old games.
I love Little Inferno.
I do too. Like I said, I love how they got rid of the score system because I hate scoring so much. Anyway.
Except it is kind of ironic how many hours I spent playing a game that was about playing games for too many hours.
Yeah, that is crazy, that ending. Spoiler alert for Little Inferno. Not that...
Well, to be honest, not quite spoiler alert, because what I said does not give away the ending. You could tell that from even before.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that was a good game. Like, one of my friends was completely shocked when he got to the end, like... Whatever. But it didn't blow my mind as much as the ending of BioShock Infinite. Everybody should play it. Everybody, ever. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Bridge Project.
Buy it for me, man.
I don't have money, Tim.
I know. I'm just teasing.
All right, seriously, what were we talking about Bridge Project? I had something to say, but I don't even remember.
It's just awesome, especially if you can play it in a room with friends. It's just like the best thing ever.
Just good for lulz.
Yeah. And though I did like a 2-episode series on it, and it ended in being like, my friend being like, most of the bridges you make, or most of the bridges we make that actually work actually look like bridges. I'm like, you want a bridge that looks like a bridge? So I built one and it worked. I'm
wow.
Like, oh. Well, fuck.
So can you build your bridge like in almost any shape you want?
You have limits. You have limited material, and you have limited anchor points.
Is there an unlimited mode?
You can. There is a design your own map mode, so that's basically an unlimited
That'd
mode.
be pretty interesting to play.
So like sometimes you'll have one anchor point on the left side underneath the bridge, but no anchor points like left of the bridge, so you can't like hook it to the outside of the bridge.
Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so it can get rather difficult when that happens.
Have you tried to make a roller coaster yet?
You mean in Bridge Project? Yes.
How'd that work out?
I actually have, if you look at, I have like a 5-10 second video on my channel that's like, I think it's called Most Functional Bridge Ever, Bridge Project. And that'll show you how that went.
I'm actually looking it up right now. Of course, I probably won't play it on the stream, but
Just gotta love that title.
Yo, just turn the sound off. It's like 5 seconds.
looking through it. Somebody talk about something so people don't get bored.
All right, so this one time I had to poop with that. So
Keep going.
Yeah,
keep
keep
going.
going.
You got my interest.
that was it. I just really had to.
That's the whole story?
That was the whole
Alright, I
story.
found it.
Man, I gotta admit this.
Then I went, and then it was nice, but not for everyone else in the house, just for me.
What is up with this bridge?
I mean, the paint started peeling. I mean, the dogs were barking. But you know that weird sound when dogs bark, and it also sounds like they're choking at the same time.
Another one you might want to watch is actually the Drawbridge of Excitement. Is pretty damn good.
Everybody watch that. Of course, yes, it's your video, so you already know what happens, but...
Oh dear.
Sorry, Matt. My internet's
I
dumb.
forgot, Tim, your internet is dumb. You should beat your internet into submission.
Your internet's dumb. Ugh.
Most functional bridge and Drawbridge of Excitement, both a lot of fun.
I need to get that game now.
I know, it's amazing.
Do it.
Tim, you just want me to buy it for you.
Exactly.
It's kind of actually a ridiculous price, but it's kind of worth it for the silliness.
That, I can tell it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry to do this right now, but thank you, Widowmaker, for following me on Twitch. You are awesome.
Oh, it's fine. You
Or,
can
yeah, thanks,
plug your
Widowmaker.
stuff. Oh, yeah. Yessik, if you want to plug your channel right now, you can.
Yeah, my channel doesn't need plugging.
Alright.
Fuck that noise. Look me up, bitches.
And obviously, Lurkin, you're streaming, so you don't even need to plug unless...
I do. I need all the plugs.
Okay, plug then. Plug away.
Yeah,
Butt plugs?
LurkinMcClerkin watched me play Surgeon Simulator, and you know what? No, I think a lot of people are gonna watch the second episode because I have an item that I'm gonna be using.
And LurkinMcClerkin is one word. If you try looking up Lurkin space McClerkin, it comes up with some black dude preaching.
It does. It comes up. No, it comes up with Donnie McClerkin, and so many people have asked me, "Are you related to Donnie McClerkin?" No, I am
Well,
not.
I was just gonna ask
our
you, are
names
you?
are spelled
So-
differently. No, our names are spelled differently. I have an E in my last name. He has a U in
I
his
guess
name.
I should know that because I'm friends with you on Facebook.
You know, it used to when you used to look up Yessik Ziiiq, A, it used to correct you, which it still does, but B, it used to come up with like 10 female Portuguese bloggers for some reason. And I was like, what the?
It's probably the
What are
triple
all
I.
these- Yeah,
I'm gonna see what comes
But-
up for Midnight Podcast.
Now it's better. It comes up as all me.
Oh, me comes up still.
Except apparently Yessik Hernandez has one video with 3 views that has usurped one of my spots on the search page. I kind of want to see what this is.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to real topics.
Okay, real topic.
We're just getting
Real
to the
topics of
real part of the
real-
podcast. All right, so recently Crytek devs, as in like the people that have made Crysis, the amazing graphics people, said that graphics are 60% of a game experience. Now we're kind of going to take this out of context because obviously they meant the actual experience. They're not saying that graphics are 60% of an actual game. Like if the graphics are bad, never mind. I'm pretty sure you guys get what I'm saying. And hopefully everybody listening does too. So
No, Matt.
do you guys?
No. We're people.
Tim,
We're
I will
dumb.
come to Alaska and kick you in the ribs.
Okay.
Not gonna happen. I know you just want me to come to Alaska and buy you stuff.
Such a very specific threat.
And so,
He loves me.
Come there and kick you in the rib. Not anywhere else. The fucking
just
rib.
one of them.
Just one of them.
Anyway.
All right. So,
Ribs are a good place.
how do you guys feel about graphics? Do you feel that they're 60% most important in a game, or? And I guess we'll go back to the actual context of the question. Do you feel that they are 60% of the game experience?
I have. Oh, go ahead.
That's kind of a weird and slightly erroneous statement.
Erroneous.
Yeah, erroneous. I just used a long word.
Well, it's not that long of a word.
Yeah, it's longer than chicken, which is actually how it's actually how I judge music. If it has words longer than chicken, I like it.
Okay.
It's very unusual for songs to actually. Anyways, back to my point. Well, yes, but no, but yes. Like Binding of Isaac, it would be crap without graphics. If I was just a bunch of squares moving
Well, I mean,
around the screen,
I
yeah.
don't mean necessarily without graphics at all. Obviously, you'll still
I
need
know.
graphics, but
But what do they mean by graphics are 90%? Can it be any type of graphics? Are they talking about very specific graphics?
I think they're talking
Well,
about like
okay,
their
I
level of
think-
graphics. Like you need to have good graphics for it to be a good game.
Are they the best?
I'm
Are they the
trying
best
to.
selling? Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, my opinion on that is I think what they're saying is the visual appeal of a game will more than likely make it better than. God, I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. No, I don't want to die. No, not like this. Not
Okay.
full of big guys. Okay, I'm sorry, but I died. In
Are
a
you still
room.
watching this stream, Yessik?
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
I'm sorry, but yeah. So visual appeal is gonna sell a game or make the person think it's better than most other games because of how it looks.
Well, okay. But if I look up the top 10, well, visual appeal, yes. Visual appeal, absolutely 100%, 60% of the game. Yeah, probably. But the thing that they said is like graphics are 60% of the game. I think they're talking about their level of graphics, and they're clearly not the top selling game of all time or this year or last year or any
Or
year.
even the top rated.
Crisis is a pretty game, and that's what people keep saying about it. It's all right, but it's just really pretty.
Yeah.
Fallout
It's
New
a-
Vegas just crashed.
Oh. Yeah, but anyways, it's stupid for a game company, specifically Cry, who basically makes really fucking average games, to make a statement like that, because they're not the best game ever, and they're not the best game this year, or last year, or the year before.
How do you actually feel about realistic looking graphics?
Oh, I love them. I'm a funder of Star Citizen.
That is a nice game.
Do you know? That is a beautiful game, but it's graphics applied in a position where graphics should be applied to a game that looks like it's going to be very good. And notice that I separated graphics and game there. Well, they're separate things, but there is a place for them to be combined.
So, if you had to pick between like realistic graphics though, or let's say cel shaded, would you pick realism over cartoony kind of stuff?
Does anyone else want to answer this?
Well, it
I mean, you
depends
can
on
all
the game,
answer it.
to be
So,
honest. 'Cause no offense, because Cry can talk whatever they want, but if it weren't for the graphics, Crysis 1 and 2 were terrible games.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like Crysis 2, like the extent of how the graphics work. We had Crysis 2 on Xbox 360, and it looked like the Xbox was gonna like explode whenever like more than two people came onto the freaking screen.
wait, Crysis
And,
was on Xbox?
Crysis 2 was on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And yeah, they were mediocre games. Well, okay, it's not saying they were bad, but they were just they were just bland games.
They should have definitely had better story, I guess. I didn't really care for the story personally, but if they had better story, I think it would have been more excusable.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, it's on absolutely no top-selling games of all time list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it rated on Metacritic?
Are you talking Crysis 3 now?
Sure.
Okay. Open
Actually,
that
look up Crysis 2.
76.
'Cause-
76, so average.
Okay. That's probably most of the Call of Duty people out there upvoting it or whatever. Because this is Reddit.
Yeah, very likely.
Um,
Yeah. Crysis 1 actually got a fairly good rating. It has a Metacritic rating of 91, and I'll agree that was a slightly... It was more innovative because at the time it was more innovative for graphics to be innovative.
and plus, probably like nobody actually played much of Crysis 1 unless you had a supercomputer.
And to answer your previous question, like, what would I prefer, cel shaded or realism? Let me put it this way: Crysis would have been horrible if it was cel shaded.
That's true.
Borderlands 2 would have been pretty fucking weird if it was realistic.
Yeah, that's true too.
And Borderlands 2 is one of my favorite games ever. If they had made it realistic, I would not like it as much. And by the way, this favorite game ever judgment is not objective, and I would never claim it to be because I don't even find it to be the best game ever.
It's the best game ever, but it's not the best game ever.
I just really like playing it with friends.
Yeah, Borderlands is definitely a game you need to be playing with friends. I say that about almost every multiplayer game, though. Like, if I'm playing a multiplayer game alone, like, I quit within 5 minutes. I'm like, I just can't take this alone. Even if it's, like, an amazing game, I just can't do it for some reason.
But Borderlands specifically, awesome co-op game. Basically the best. Well, the best that's come out in a long time for me.
I think I've already explained this on the podcast, but I actually haven't played much of Borderlands 2. I own it, but I haven't played much of it. I think my girlfriend might get mad at me for telling this story. I don't know, but
Tell it.
She bought it for me for my birthday last year on PC, but then she had to cancel the order, and then she ordered it again from a different site, and she accidentally got the Xbox version. And I have an Xbox 360, and I sort of play it, but I don't really play it that often. I think the only thing I really play on it anymore is Fallout 3 and Dragon Age. Anyway, but I don't even play those often. Man, I just keep getting off topic. Anyway, so Borderlands 2, where was I? So she ordered it for Xbox, so she told me she'd play it with me, and we played it a bit, but then we just never got around to it again. So, haven't played much of Borderlands 2, and now I'm waiting for it to go on sale on Steam.
Oh, I have the exact same... Well, okay, first of all, the PC version is gorgeous compared to the
Oh, I'm sure it is.
version.
Like, it's got those PhysX stuff, and I bet it...
Which sounds a lot like Muzak, so it kind of tripped me out just there.
Wait, what?
You said PhysX, and it sounded like Muzak, which... Do you know what Muzak is?
No, I don't.
It's the actual genre of elevator music.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a genre for that.
So it's like insanely watered-down remakes of real music. So you said physics, and I was like, Muzak.
So you were imagining
like,
Muzak in Borderlands 2?
So I was imagining like really watered down physics.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm not even sure what that would really look like.
It'd probably look like it did on Xbox.
Yeah, probably.
But it looked just like the first game on Xbox. Yeah. So there's that story about why I haven't really played Borderlands 2.
Main thing with Borderlands 2 is they actually did massively improve the story and added a ton of dialogue.
Writer. Do you know who the writer is? Anthony Birch.
Did he write the first one? Good.
It was actually who I think Randy Pitchford wrote the first one, didn't he?
I have no idea the name of it, but you might recognize him. He was the guy who does the Hey Ash, What You Playing videos.
That's the guy that wrote the second one, yeah. Anthony Birch.
Oh.
He's pretty brilliant when it comes to writing.
The first one, it didn't get me engaged in the plot. Then it pulled like this huge, stupid, serious plot point out of its ass for the end.
I mean, it could be asked, was there really a plot? I mean, I guess technically there was, but it's pretty much
there was
absent.
A beginning and an end. There was no middle. Yeah. But
the middle was nothing but murder.
Yeah. And no, there was flavored text and a bit of dialogue, but you had to like hunt it out or read it all, like 3 paragraphs. You're like, yeah, tell me this. I'm playing a shooter with my friends right now. I don't want to read 3 paragraphs. What the hell's this?
But I do love the writer for Anthony Birch for the second one, and his sister is hilarious too. If you guys haven't seen Hey Ash, What You Playing, you definitely should watch that. It is very funny, or I think it is.
Also, she also played Tiny Tina.
She does play Tiny Tina. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Which was the most stupidly called racist character in the history of video games.
I don't understand why people, because they were saying like she was like a poser white girl from California.
They said she has to stop with this ghetto talk. I'm like, anyone can talk like that if they're raised in the right place at the right time with the right people around them. It doesn't matter if it's a little white girl. Yeah, anyways.
So, racism. Welcome to Midnight Podcast.
No, he's right though.
No, I mean, he is right. I'm not saying that he's not.
Like, I just can't even imagine the type of people who would freak out at that shit. I'm like,
Yeah, it just seems silly.
I can. I watch daytime news.
oh, no.
Yeah, that is a common thing in our area, Lurkin. Stupid people. Lurkin and I live fairly close to each other. I mean, we're not like right down the street. We're probably like 30 minutes away, but whatever.
They live right next to each other.
No, that's you and Brian.
Yeah, it's right next on a global
I
scale.
wake up in the morning and I touch his
Whoa,
face.
that does not happen.
It's very touching and gentle.
Yeah, okay.
I've been there before.
Anyway, so unless Tim wants to talk about graphics in his games, or if Lurkin wants to say anything else about it, then we're going to move on to our next topic.
Well, okay, I do have to say that the only thing that I have to say about well, we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about I was talking to Dr. Tacos, who was another YouTuber that I talk to fairly often, and we were also talking about the damn. How many times am I going to say talking about?
Talking about.
We're
talking about.
talking about.
My family, having myself a party.
We were conversating, yeah, about.
That's a real word. Just keep rolling
yeah.
with it. Roll.
We were conversating about. Damn it!
Just forget about talking about something and just talk.
The difference between the Resident Evil games and what made them so scary. Now, do you guys have any? Are you guys familiar with the Resident Evil series, the entire series?
I haven't played every single one, but I've played some here and there.
Absolutely not.
Oh God.
Yeah, just nothing. Got nothing.
So, Resident Evil 1 was way more scary to me because of its shitty graphics. Because I don't know why that happened, but that game is still scary to me because of its shitty graphics.
Now, I'm probably going to get murdered for asking this because I always confuse these two series, but was Resident Evil the one where the doors opened, or was that Silent Hill?
Oh God, those two series?
I always confuse the two because they're the same to me.
A lot of doors open.
Okay. Sorry, can I just stop this here for a second? I'm not going to kill you.
Okay.
Silent Hill, you have one gun. It's probably the most useless weapon in the game. Also has Pyramid Head. Resident Evil, mostly a crazy shooter, except for the first couple games, and the first game specifically, which was top-down asymmetric, and really good and really scary for the reasons that Lurker is about to tell us.
As opposed to the third-person shooter ones, like 5 and 6 and...
Okay, well, Resident Evil 0 was the third person, the first third person over-the-shoulder Resident Evil they did. And that one... That one was still pretty scary. It wasn't action. I mean, the character you played was fucking useless.
Who did you play in that one?
But I can't remember her name for the love of God.
Was it the blonde lady or the brunette?
Big-breasted anime chick. That's who you played.
Number 2.
I can't remember what her name was. I'm pretty sure it was... I doubt it was Jill. I don't think anybody from the main story...
Oh, so this is like some uncanon crap.
No, it's completely canon. It was the game that made the distinction between zombies and virus caused by these little slug things. It made the series go just from being understandable, hey zombies, to there's a virus caused by these sentient beings that we dug up from pyramids in the center of the earth and we brought back to life for no fucking reason at all.
Okay.
Because Umbrella Corporation equals evil, basically.
It still doesn't make any sense.
Now, the Umbrella Corporation is like the most insane series of... Well, the most insane company run by the most insane series of villains that has ever existed.
All right.
They seriously have no purpose at all other than just destroy everything. They keep bringing back this virus for no reason and spreading it to places.
How do you not just stop? If you've stopped it once before, how can it not be?
Because they started up again in a different part of the world after you start.
But you would think that like the world would like band together and be like, "Hey, there's this virus. Let's stop it."
You want to know just how fucking hard they work to try and kill everybody in the world? You blow up their entire facility in Resident Evil Code Veronica, and those fuckers still manage to spread it in Resident Evil
Now,
4.
do they have like some really rich person funding them, or do they explain that at all?
They actually, and it's somewhat weird because some of the slugs, which are sentient beings, have taken over like rich people who were alive like so long ago, and they're like that vampire
How do they
rule,
get
you know,
their
we've
money
been-
back if they're dead?
It's like I said, it's like an old vampire thing. You know what I mean? They've been living so long, they were able to garnish a huge fortune
Wouldn't
to fund their world domination schemes.
see? I would just see like their great grandchildren stealing all their money or something.
When I try to garnish a fortune, I usually just use basil, a bit of oregano, some sage, maybe. I don't know.
All right,
Did you really just do that?
it happens.
Yes. Move on to the next topic.
All right, Tim, anything on graphics?
Oh, man.
Nope.
Are you eating, Tim?
Actually, no, not well. I might have a little bit to say, but
It's just not even worth
Wanna
it
hear
at
it?
this point, or
no. Well, no. It's just like for me, graphics don't mean too much because I've always had like crappy laptop or something for gaming, and I never turned up my graphics. I just kept it low.
do you run Minecraft on low?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
like everything on low.
Actually, Minecraft
Oh,
has
God.
become
Oh, God.
demanding more and more that updates come. It's kind of weird. Like my
Mhm.
girlfriend, probably a year ago, she used to be able to play Minecraft on full settings, but then, well, actually, I think it was more than a year ago. It was before Minecraft actually released, so still in open beta or whatever. But she was able to run the game at full everything, and then one update came out, and she couldn't run it like at all.
Well, that's because
Yeah.
they got rid of the what's it called now?
It's what they introduced the clouds, and it fucked the game.
No, they actually got rid of the Farlands. Does anyone actually know about the Farlands?
No, what is that?
Oh man, am I the only person? Okay, I only played Minecraft in alpha, only.
Okay.
And well, it was in alpha, and I think even while it was in beta, it had something called the Farlands, which basically it was procedurally generated every world.
Yeah.
And the world would generate infinitely outwards, which actually doesn't happen anymore. Now the world is just really, really big, but it all exists at all times.
So why'd they get rid of it?
Because whenever you got too far in Minecraft, the world would start like spawning. It couldn't handle it anymore. Your processor couldn't
Yeah.
handle it, and the frame rate would drop to like 3 frames a second. And you'd come across these like huge, weird like architectures. Like imagine Mountain of. Nobody's read any H.P. Lovecraft, have
Of
they?
course I have. Are you kidding me?
Okay, imagine Mountains of Doom or Mountains of Madness type architectures, like weird things going on, giant steeples and waterfalls coming off them, the ground being in the sky like another layer of ground, just weird things
That
happening.
sounds awesome, though. I mean, aside
It
from the
was awesome.
frame rate issue, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but anyways, they got rid of it, and that's why it took so much more, because they aren't procedurally generating it anymore.
Aw, that's sad. I guess.
Well, kind of.
Like it's cool, but
The-
it's also sad at the same time.
The Farlands were pretty cool, though.
I'm gonna have to find one of those really old clients and play that because I really want to see it now, or I'll just watch a YouTube video on it.
Yeah, you'll find it somewhere.
Anybody have anything else to say about graphics? I didn't even talk about it. Graphics. As long as the gameplay is fun, I guess I don't care.
Damn it. I'm sorry, because all I can think about is a video put up with this guy. It was about JonTron, and all JonTron said in the video was graphics, graphics.
Who is JonTron?
You don't know JonTron?
Oh my god!
No, I seriously don't know.
Really?
Who that is.
You don't know JonTron?
No, who is
You know
that?
me, but you don't know JonTron? Oh,
we
man.
we must burn him.
He is one half of Greps.
I'm... What?
Game Grumps.
Oh, okay.
He's one half of
Dontron
Game
and
Grumps.
Eagle Raptor.
Okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
I know who he
Uh,
is.
Oh my God. Grips.
If you had just described him
can
as
tell,
that,
you can tell who the people who actually watch Game Grumps in the room.
if you had described him as that, then I would have understood it.
I do watch them, but they upload too many videos a day for me to watch all of them.
I've only seen a couple Game Grumps videos.
At one point, as an outro, Eagle Raptor called them Greps.
Oh.
And it was like,
Just how many variations of that have they said? Like Greps, Grooms.
and they're like, Greps, this is our logo, and they had like their animations, but super simplified with straight faces. It was kind of funny. Anyways.
All right. So,
Yeah,
any more graphics talk, or are we done there?
I'm done.
I think.
All right. So, it was.
I kind of want to send my whole segment to Cry as like a personal note. Here you go, motherfuckers. That's what I think.
You could do it.
Bro.
Anyway, so recently it was announced with the new Animal Crossing, which I want because I'm a sucker for Animal Crossing, just like every little girl that is into Nintendo. That Mr. Rossetti, which I don't know if a lot of people know what that is,
I know.
but basically if you reset the game or turn your system off or whatever without saving an Animal Crossing, and then the next time you turn it on, there's this big annoying mole that he actually yells at you for not saving your progress. He's become optional, and that sort of leads to a question that's like, do you feel that stuff that usually punishes people in a game should be optional? And I have an example here that Yessik, you brought up before we started the podcast, sort of like Fire Emblem's casual mode, because there used to be permadeath in Fire Emblem all the time, but now you have the option for people not to die. Do you feel that
Yep.
kind of stuff is wrong to have in a game?
I'm gonna let somebody else talk first because I will rant.
All right, Lurkin, you go first.
I don't know because permadeath is. I don't really have any opinions on permadeath, to be honest. I mean, it offers a huge challenge to me. Like right now, like of course I'm playing Fallout New Vegas. Like I'm playing on hardcore. Like I love the fact that your companions can die.
Yeah, I did find that
Not
interesting,
come
but oftentimes sad. But I honestly love when that kind of stuff does happen, only because, sorry I'm stealing your spotlight, Lurkin.
Do I know?
But,
It's a podcast. It's all about stealing spotlight.
exactly. Anyway, I love it because you'll be getting attached to the character that, or your companion that you'll that you'll have traveling with you. It's getting late. Because, that's the companion you're choosing because you like that person the most. And then you'll have certain dialogue with them, and you'll start becoming attached to that character, which is, if it's good writing anyway, you will. And so I think it's interesting that character could just die off at any specific time. I kind of enjoy that kind of stuff. Maybe because I'm a sadist. But...
What? Hey, yes. While we're listening, while he's listening to that, just while he's saying that, look at what I'm doing.
Beating the hell out of your companion with your club.
Okay, which companion does he have?
Which companion is that? I don't know.
Okay, that stain on the ground, which is all blood now, is Boone.
You killed Boone?
I just killed Boone. You got a problem with it?
I guess that's
Are you
okay
going
because
to
he
eat
wasn't
him?
my favorite companion, but it's terrible. I'm actually thinking about
Yeah,
doing a permadeath Fallout run on my channel. That'd be interesting.
Well, mine isn't. My challenge that I'm doing isn't permadeath, but it's still fun to do.
I was doing a permadeath Bioshock Infinite run, but then you can only have one save file, and I just didn't bother backing them up, like actually going into the files and stuff. So I have a friend that was playing Bioshock, and so he went over my permadeath save and stuff. And so I'll get back to that eventually, but that happened, sadly. Oh, and I was playing on hardcore. I forgot about that, which I don't actually know the details about hardcore for Bioshock Infinite that well, but I think it actually erases your save on 1999 mode. Which
It should.
I agree that it should also. I love games that do that, but I already said that earlier, and I explained it in like 20 minutes. This podcast is going to be so long.
Super podcast.
Super podcast. I'm actually going to call it that now. The Super Midnight
Bow,
Podcast.
bow, 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 bow.
I'm also going to
trying
edit
come up with
that
a super.
in as the theme song.
Not even add an actual song to it, just have him doing
Yeah,
the
that's
background.
what's gonna. Yeah. All right, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the optional stuff. Talk about it, Lurkin.
Yeah. So optionality and so, I forgot where I was. You stole my
Optionality.
You were talking about
thunder.
permadeath.
Permadeath. You know what game needs a permadeath, a permadeath type thing?
What?
Dark Souls.
Oh, that would be so.
If Dark Souls did a permadeath, they did a permadeath mode, I think a lot more people would get back into Dark Souls, especially with
there's
a bunch of
huge
people
community
complaining about.
into it still.
No. I'm talking about the people who are getting really uppity against it because they're thinking about it putting in an easy mode for Dark
No,
Souls.
are they really?
Because they are,
Yeah.
because a bunch of people are complaining about it.
That's-
The game's a little too hard. Guess what? Guess what's on the fucking box? One of the
Prepare
hardest
to
games
die?
I've ever played. Prepare to Die edition.
I can't believe people are complaining about that. That.
Okay, I recently streamed Dark Souls Prepare to Drink edition. And do you guys know Prepare to Drink? It's actually a website. It's very well fleshed out and
No,
everything.
I haven't heard of it.
But you put in like whether you're a beginner, whether you've played it before, if you've beat it, if you're planning on doing PvP, and it will come up with the list of rules for you can do it like past the controller too, so if you're playing with multiple
Yeah.
people. Yeah. And it will come up with a list of rules that you drink whenever this happens or this happens or this happens. And I am crap at Dark Souls, but I love the concept.
It is a great concept.
So I didn't even get to the first boss, and Despic and I were fucking plastered because it was drink every time you
Is
die.
he bad at it too?
Oh, he's worse than I am. That was his first time
Oh,
playing.
boy.
So it was drink every time you die, drink if you light a bonfire, drink if somebody else retrieves your souls, and every time you die you have to pass the controller, so it's always somebody else retrieving your souls.
Oh my god, are you... That's...
What were you guys drinking?
Oh my god.
Well, me personally, straight rum. Him, he had 12 beers total, I think. I don't know. And also a margarita, because we have a margarita machine, and I had a margarita as well.
Wow. I bet
Yeah,
it was
but-
fun though. You said you were streaming it, right?
Yeah, of
That's
course.
funny.
It was amazing.
I got.
I'm planning.
Is it still on your
planning
Twitch?
on doing it again. No, it's actually on YouTube
Oh,
now.
okay. I gotta watch that.
It started out pretty slow, and it kept going pretty slow if you don't include all the alcohol.
Damn it. Yes, I'm gonna watch more of you, damn it.
Look at that. I got you some subs.
Yes.
All the subs.
But anyways, I just absolutely...
Ow! I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for yelling that out. I just drunk one vodka. It's the only vodka I've ever drank in my entire life, and suddenly my character's addicted to
That
it.
happens.
Okay, anyways, what I was segueing into very slowly here is that some games, they're good because they're hard.
Yeah.
To be honest, the good things about Dark Souls include basically the fact that it's hard and its visual aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay itself is pretty fucking stilted. It's very strategy based, but it's kind of, you don't feel like you're in perfect control. Like I should be able to jump 2 feet, but I can only do this horrible dodge roll type gameplay, which I like. I like it because it's difficult. And if you take away games like that, then what's the point in playing a game?
Yeah.
You're like ever respawning in the exact same place. Might as well just have save states going on.
I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking back if they're making that easy mode.
Yeah, I know, it's
Yeah,
awful.
It's not really gonna ruin the game.
No, it
It's
will
just-
ruin the game, in
they're-
my
they're-
opinion.
Well, I don't think it'll ruin it. I think it'll just it'll just well, what's the word? It's one of those things that the game company really didn't really think about because they're catering to those people who basically run the gaming industry right now.
See, but that's
The thing is,
that's what I like when
It-
games set
because
themselves
it-
apart, and that's why I love
because
indie games. Is because they're actually different, and oftentimes they'll be making the game that they want to make, as opposed to making the game that people want to play. Sort of. That's not exactly what I mean, but I'm sure you guys understand.
Well, I can't remember what game it was recently, and it made me laugh, and I have to look it up again. A bunch of the people were complaining about a difficulty of a boss in a certain game, and the company did not want to cater to these people who could not beat it because several players had beat it before.
I think I remember
then
this.
they buffed the boss.
That actually happened
That
in
sounds
Guild
great
Wars.
to me.
When people wanted it was it Guild
No,
Wars?
this isn't the one that we're both thinking of, because I know which one you're talking about. I just can't think of the game either.
Okay.
But that did happen
Yeah,
in
'cause-
Guild Wars too.
Yeah, because a bunch of people were complaining that it was a little too hard, so they made it harder.
yeah, to hell with games. Okay, the point of a game is to be a challenge, like 100%, or to tell a story, but that's a different thing
Yeah.
entirely. Like, you don't play chess because you want to win at chess over and over again. You play chess because you want a challenge. So, putting an easy mode in does actually cheapen and almost ruin the experience for me. And I will not be playing the new Dark Souls if there is an easy mode.
I won't either.
Because if there's an easy mode, it cheapens my victory. The victory that I'll have at the end of the game doesn't mean as much anymore because you can have it just much easier.
I can't believe they're doing it. I know I keep saying it. I'm sorry,
No,
but I just
well,
can't believe it.
It's not guaranteed, but it was on one of their development things. They were thinking about putting it in, and then you should have seen just the flurry of I am never going to play anything from you guys ever again.
Now, are they just making?
when that happened.
Are they giving the player more health and weakening hits to them, or what exactly were the details on it, or did they give any?
They didn't give details.
Okay.
They didn't really give any details to
Because
it.
I feel like you'd have to change a lot in that game to make it an easy mode, unless they were just gonna kind of like make it to where you just take less damage or something. But that'd be kind of stupid.
It'd probably be less damage, more health, slower enemies.
If they were going to do anything, all I would say that at the very, very, very least they could do was to just not let you lose your souls when you die.
Yeah, they'd
But-
probably
but
get
that-
rid of that.
But that's the fun of it because you could be on your way walking back and no, I've yelled at my computer screen several times because I go back try to get my souls and fall off a cliff or something.
What happened to your Dark Souls videos, by the way, Larkin?
I wasn't getting the number of views that I was hoping for
Oh,
it.
okay.
A lot of my subs are fall off from someone else's channel, and they do like a lot of, and I hate to say this, they do like a lot of bandwagoning games.
Oh, okay.
And I would love to continue Dark Souls, and I probably will continue it, but I'm not gonna play it if people are gonna like not watch it. You know what I mean?
So you're just gonna do that maybe like once you get a bigger fan base.
Yeah, because it sucks to say that. I really, really sucks to say that.
I'm about when I finish my Monster Hunter series, I'm expecting to lose 50 to 60 subs.
You really think so?
Yeah, because I run an indie gaming channel, and a lot of people are like, "It's the Wii U game. It's the only good one right now." That's why they're here.
That's it. I just find that interesting that they would unsub. I mean, I'm sort of a new channel and everything, so I don't have as many subs as you guys do. But I just find that interesting how they would just unsub. Like, I don't know, whatever. People are dumb.
Yeah,
I hate humanity.
It happens.
I'm just kidding. I love all my viewers.
well, in terms of hating humanity, you have me pretty nailed down there. I dislike humanity in general. There's lots of people I like,
Yeah,
but as a group, they tend to piss me off to no
all
end.
the time.
Yeah.
We are just going
Anyways.
everywhere with this podcast.
Yeah,
we should probably go to the next subject.
Tim, did you want to talk about difficulties?
Me, yeah, I really don't like it when a game puts in some kind of easy mode or something. I just prefer normal or hard or just insane.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
do like difficulties up from normal.
I do too.
That helps.
Like, for example, for the Fire Emblem Awakening, when they did put in the casual mode, I was just like, what is this? And I read it, and I'm just like, what is this again? And then I kind of flipped my DS and then picked it back up and started playing.
The devs actually said that, this isn't really a surprise to me, but the devs for Fire Emblem actually said that casual mode was very successful and that they'll probably include it in future games, which I'm kind of surprised that it took them this long to put a casual mode in, because I'm pretty sure people have probably been requesting that for quite some time, just because...
Well, the thing is... Oh, sorry. The thing with Fire Emblem is, it isn't like Dark Souls. It isn't ruined by casual mode because the game is hard on its own. It's a turn-based tactics game. Those are always hard.
Yeah, it definitely requires a lot more strategy than Dark Souls does. Honestly, I thought Dark Souls was kind of easy. I'm not trying to be like I'm better than everybody, but I just used my shield a lot and that was it. So
Oh yeah, when you find out
Dark Souls isn't a crazy hard game in itself. The thing that starts it apart is the fact that when the developers were making the game, their goal wasn't let's find a way for these people to achieve what we set them to achieve. Let's find a way to them to get there, but let's try to kill them as many fucking times as possible on their way there.
To be honest, it's more of a game about patience and pattern memorization than anything else.
True too.
It's I will say again, I'm the worst player ever. But if I wanted to, you'll see if you watch that video. But if I wanted to set by even an hour or two of time just to kind of practice, get the hang of the controls, learn how to use my shield, my parry properly, I could beat it fairly easily.
I never parried.
I've seen it beaten, I've seen it played. Yeah. It's just not that hard if you commit a tiny bit of time to actually learning it.
Yeah.
And some people are going to think I'm weird since I played it for 2 hours and didn't learn it, but I wasn't trying.
See, I didn't usually learn it. What I did was I just got I did learn it on some stuff where it was really easy to learn it, but I would just get a full damage block shield or whatever, and then I would just hold my shield up almost all the time. Of course, elemental damage goes through it, so I would always try to dodge roll through that or whatever. But I never learned the you know how you have some frames of invincibility when you dodge roll? I never learned what those frames were. I see people do it all the time. I'll watch Northern Lion's videos of him playing it, and he'll get those frames instantly, but I never bothered to learn how to get those, and I just dodge roll out of the way. If I get hit, I get hit. So
Invincibility frames, very, very important for Monster Hunter.
yes, they are. That is a game that I will actually learn for, so...
Because those monsters have such a large hit radius.
They really do. Oh, it's insane in that game.
Yeah. If you don't know how to get invincibility frames, you're getting hit a lot.
Yeah. You'll have to have a lot of potions and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, usually you have to have a lot anyway, but...
At least 10 mega and 10 regular. Yeah. And if you are the type to bring them 10 honey along with that to combine them and make 10 more mega.
Anyway, anybody have anything else to say about difficulties?
Nope.
All I can say is when I get that new Animal Crossing, I'm going to have Mr. Rossetti turned on. And that just sounded wrong.
I'll have him turned on all day long. Yeah.
God.
All right. So here's the topic I really wanted to talk about. So Bioshock, can't even say it right. Bioshock Infinite just came out a few weeks ago, or was it about a month ago now? I think it was.
It's about a month ago.
So I beat it in a day because it's the greatest game I've played in my life, and it's actually the highest rated game of the past 10 years. I probably said that on the last podcast because I'm just so obsessed with that fact. But there's one point in the game, I don't know if Tim or Yessik have played it, but there's one point where you get baptized. Actually, I think there might be multiple points where you get baptized. But
I've read about everything, so spoilers, I don't care.
Yeah. So there have actually been people that refused to continue on with the game because of that baptism part. They were like, okay, I'm not going to get baptized because whatever. Hang on, I'll actually get the full text of it here. As baptism of the Holy Spirit is at the center of Christianity, of which I am a devout believer, I am basically being forced to make a choice between committing extreme blasphemy by my actions and choosing to accept this choice, or forced to quit playing the game before it even really starts. So some guy said that and actually demanded a refund from Valve. And he actually got a refund from Valve. And this isn't the first sort of religious controversy that has been talked about in the game. I was actually listening to it was a podcast or a video or something that Ken Levine was in, which Ken Levine is the guy that writes BioShock. And so he was saying that there were actually some developers that they played through a certain part in the game. He didn't say what part, but they actually resigned from their job after playing that. They were like, I just can't be a part of this because of my religion or my religious beliefs. And so do you guys feel that it's right for Valve to give these refunds, or that people are right for quitting for these things, or do you just think they're nuts?
Well, it's Valve's... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. At very, very most, if I were Valve, I would have put up a warning before a purchase saying that this has extreme religious themes.
I mean, is that not in the rating? I'll look it up.
That is... No, I mean, like, I would have had a warning screen because people are crazy. And that's my second point. People are fucking crazy. I don't care. It's a video game. It does not impugn your beliefs at all. You're not making an actual moral choice. You're playing a game.
You know, the really interesting thing, though, is that people like, that sit through that kind of stuff, that are like that religious and everything, they'll sit through like all that language and sexual themes and everything, and yet once it comes to baptism, they choose to start getting offended. Like,
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Well, but I hate this about the genre that we play. We play M-rated games. The game is rated M for mature. If you cannot approach the game with a mature set of mind, why the fuck are you playing this game?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why?
It mature set of mind. That means you play the game and none of this is going to be taken to heart.
Yeah.
And I understand. Like, Valve gave him his refund. And it's completely up to Valve for that. It's completely up to them for that. If they're just like, you know what, let's just stop all his whining and give him his money back. But it's just, you know, because it all could just be a freaking hoax.
Well,
hey,
I
I played the game. I'm not gonna play it again. I want my money back. So he had to put a bunch of bullshit in it.
Well, I'm not actually talking Valve down. I like Valve quite a bit, despite them owning like a good 10%, 20% of my net worth. But that's besides the point. I'm not talking them down. I'm talking this religious asshole who... It was clearly a religiously charged game. Everyone knew that even before it came out.
Yeah.
You can't buy a game that you...
Yeah.
That it's
also,
it's like buying. There's a book that's very famous. I forget who it's by, but it's about having one woman who tries to break the world record for having sex with the most guys. This is a weird book and a weird way to take this.
I haven't ever heard about that.
It's famous in certain circles. Let's put it that way instead. But it's like a quarter of the way through having sex with all these guys consecutively, somebody kills her, and then they it's about trying to find out who the hell did it, because like people had sex with her after.
Oh
too.
my gosh.
But it was awful. Yeah, I know. It was awful. They didn't know she was dead. That's happened in professional wrestling too, or non-professional or faked wrestling, as you might want to call it. But it's like if you bought that book and you were like, I want a refund. I didn't know there was going to be sex. Read the back, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, what game was advertising a rape scene in their video game? I can't remember exactly what it was.
Separate ones, but a big one was Tomb Raider.
Okay. It might have been the same thing with Tomb Raider, too, because there could have been people... a big chunk of the people who bought the game heard about the fucking rape scene.
Yeah, that was hugely, like, people were like, whoa, like, I don't know how somebody didn't hear about that.
I'd like to quickly mention, though, that there is actually no rape scene possible or that is available in the
there
game.
isn't.
Well, no. It was just that there was a game that somebody advertised, and they said that we're expanding, we're trying to be more mature, so we're going to put a rape scene in our
is
game.
Tomb Raider. The head guy
that
was
Tomb Raider.
I forgot his exact wording, but it was basically what you just said. And basically, what the scene turned out to be is a guy was he had like Lara up against a wall, and he was like sort of sexually intimidating her. But what really happens is, spoiler alert, she kills him, and she's not necessarily focused on the fact that she was about to be raped or whatever, but she's focusing on the fact that she just killed a person, as opposed to.
And if you fail the QuickTime event, he just strangles you. So
I forgot that there's a QuickTime event there.
Yeah. Well, we meant to be talking about different rape scenes because
no, we're talking about the same one.
Game
I think.
really, that game really, it's like have ragdoll Lara Croft. All the bad shit happens to her constantly. Enjoy.
Man, that game.
Wow.
I do love that game though. It's beautiful.
It's a good looking game and it's a good playing game.
I actually haven't finished it though.
But as a development of Lara Croft's character, I don't really buy it because it doesn't really develop her character past that one guy she's kind of iffy about killing.
It was way better than the previous ones though. The previous Laras.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they could have used better character development.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, what was it that I didn't like about it? It after, like I said, I haven't beat it, and there's a reason for it. I felt everybody says this, but most people don't say it in the way that I'm about to say it. This game is really similar to Uncharted, but I'm saying it more in the sense not the way it looks or the fact that it's an adventure game, but I feel instead of focusing more on character development, which they should have, or puzzles and stuff, they really put a huge focus on combat, and I didn't really like that because
It wasn't Lara Croft.
not necessarily because it
Lara
wasn't
Croft.
Lara, but because there was too much combat. Like, it's kind of like what was the Payday? We were talking about how there's just a million cops, and it just doesn't make any sense how many cops there are. It's like it doesn't really make sense how many people you kill in Tomb Raider because I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there'd be that many people on the island or anything.
Same thing with
Also-
Far Cry 3.
Far Cry
Yeah.
3 made more sense because it was actually a self-sustaining community on the island as opposed to one boat of guys that just lives off of people that comes to the island.
No, just the response, like, you know, you would trigger a bunch of people coming to you, and the next maybe outpost for them, or there won't be any pirates for the longest time, and then you meet one, they call for backup, and suddenly you're overrun with like 100 or something
Yeah,
pirates.
that's true.
I would also quickly like to mention, and this isn't a problem that I've had personally, but hey, here's the place that I just walked in with the
rebar club.
with a mace and clubbed everybody. I think you're at right now. Anyways, sorry, distracted. Anyone online who is giving people shit for calling Lara Laura, go to fucking hell. Are you fucking kidding me with that goddamn bullshit? Lara is not a common name. Not many people know her name actually is Lara.
Yeah.
It's fucking Laura. Go away. Sorry. I've seen people freaking out about it on Twitter
I
and
think
on
anybody that freaks out
comments.
about it is kind of silly.
I'm like, come on.
I mean, Conan O'Brien was
Really
calling
well.
her Lara, I think. I don't know, whatever.
Well, her name is Lara, Lara, not Laura. But I didn't know that until somebody fucking told me. Yeah. Anyways, that's it.
All right, so, Tim, have you said anything on the subject? I forgot what we were even talking about. Oh, yeah, the baptism controversy.
Me?
We moved to rape
Well-
controversy.
That happened in an old
Okay,
podcast that I did about comics, and I ended up getting in trouble for that. Anyway, Tim.
Yeah, anyways, yeah, Matt, my opinion on religious stuff is, yeah, you shouldn't take it seriously if you're playing it freaking video game. Basically, my opinions
I mean,
are the same as everyone else's.
I could honestly understand him thinking that, or wanting a refund if his religion was honestly like sitting there being offended or something, but it was just baptism, which represents just like cleaning. Never mind. But
Yeah.
Baptism isn't offending Christianity, which he was a Christian, so I don't understand why he was offended by it.
Yeah, now that you
Yep.
mention it, that doesn't make any sense.
Like, sure, his character was like this. Well, Booker's not an evil dude by any means, but he's a Pinkerton agent or whatever, so he kills people. He's a mercenary, whatever. So he has killed people. Sure, that's considered a sin and everything, but he's getting baptized. But then it just doesn't make any sense why he'd be offended by baptism.
So everyone in the chat right now doesn't care about spoilers too much. Am I to
I
understand
don't
that?
care about spoilers at all.
Nah,
Like,
me
if-
either.
Yep.
The very end of the game. Okay, I'm going to put a mega spoiler alert here. I have not played the game, but I have heard about it and seen it beginning to end.
Such a good ending.
Yes. But that ending, did anyone else realize, again, this is more quoting Spoonie, that ending was depressing as fuck?
Did you see the
Or-
video at
Because
the end
all
of
of-
the credits?
Yes, because all of the character growth didn't actually happen, so he is still the type of man who would sell his daughter.
No, because he realizes. I'm pretty sure he still has the memories.
No, he doesn't. The timeline's got erased. According to their own science.
I guess that's true.
So he's still in debt. He is still the type
No,
of
because
person who would
he
sell
hasn't
his
taken
daughter.
up drinking or lottery yet. He did that after Anna was taken.
No, he did that after his wife died.
Are you sure?
Yeah. That's why he took up drinking. That's why he had to sell his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that ending is depressing as hell.
But I guess there's nobody there to take his daughter now.
Yes, but he's still in horrible debt to like a mafia, and he'll probably die.
That's true.
So, um, pretty much bad things all around there.
I still love it though.
Oh yeah, it's still a great game and a great ending, especially if that was done on purpose.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that shit was done on purpose?
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like in writing, when everything is done, if it's like just this super happy ending and everything ended perfectly, it almost feels like it's not. It's just not
Realistic.
Yeah, like that's just not how it would happen. So putting that, I didn't think about that before. So putting that perspective on it, I actually think that I might like it even more, even though that's depressing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
Okay.
thought too when it was brought up to me.
Okay, I'm sorry, but is this okay? And I'm really sorry for this. Is this not the best dying pose ever? Holding
Yeah.
your gun while thumbing your enemies up.
What the heck?
If you're watching
I-
the stream right now, Boone is the most badass motherfucker ever.
Oh, is he dead?
True.
Yeah,
He's like-
he died again, but this time he's got his thumb up like, yeah, take that.
He's like, whatever,
Screenshot that.
motherfucker.
Yeah, please
I am gonna
screenshot.
I'm getting a screenshot it, but that's fucking amazing.
Man, maybe I should actually just just send you the copy I have being recorded.
Maybe so. Like, I'll upload two separate ones. I'll upload one where people can get just the podcast, and then I'll upload the one so that they can see Lurkin playing. If Lurkin, you don't mind me uploading that.
I don't mind at all.
Obviously, I'll be like, hey, check out this guy's channel or whatever.
Publicity.
Or honestly, Yessik could just send you the one. I don't know.
Oh, either one.
Yes, it has-
Anyways,
If that's what you meant, Yessik, I don't know.
no, I was meaning sending it to you so you could post it as the main if you wanted to, to her as a secondary.
Yeah.
But anyways, next subject.
Okay,
You know what? I want pie.
in real life, you mean?
Man, I can't, I
Yeah.
shan't formulate an anthem where the words comprise mnemonics. Dreading mnemonics for pi.
What?
The numerals just bother me always. even the dry anterior. Try to request something lower 0 in numeric aptitude.
I think everybody's just at a loss for words right now. Yessik.
I swear to God, is that English he is speaking?
That is a song.
What is this
that was,
English you speak of?
Okay. That is a song. Pi was requested. That song corresponds to pi. Man 3, I 1, can't 4. The letters in the letters, the amount of letters,
Yes.
you know. So I was speaking pi in a song where the letters, numbers, corresponded to the numbers of pi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird thing.
That's actually pretty interesting now that you bring that up. I was actually thinking about Scott Pilgrim earlier today. I promise it relates, sort of. And
Well, if it relates to that, I'll be impressed.
it sort of does. And I didn't realize how much like numerical symbolism there was in both.
It's amazing, isn't it?
In both the movie and the manga. It was absolutely crazy because
Don't call it a manga, please.
okay, comic,
Okay.
whatever you want me to call it.
I would like to also mention
what are we
that
talking
manga
about?
is just the Japanese word for comic. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
that's
matter.
true.
I know, but it's just like it's when I think manga, it's just something like nothing. I'm an idiot.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue with that. So I was sitting there in a Mexican restaurant today with my girlfriend and my family, and some dude walked in with a Scott Pilgrim shirt, and my dad said something about Scott Pilgrim. So my girlfriend and I started this like in-depth conversation about Scott Pilgrim. So I was looking stuff up on my smartphone about it, and which I'm surprised it was working because my smartphone almost never works. So I was looking up stuff about Scott Pilgrim, and it just opened my mind to all the numerical symbolism in that, and it's just absolutely insane. Like, if I'm not going to talk about all of it, but
It's
yeah.
ridiculous. You know that the first Let's Play I ever did was actually of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game?
it's such a good game. It needs to be
I know, it's
on
amazing.
PC.
It's so amazing.
It really needs to be on PC.
I agree entirely.
I think they actually have online co-op for it now. I think a patch just came out recently for it.
Really? People are still working on that game at all?
Apparently so. Who was the developers? Ubisoft?
I think it was Ubisoft, which kind of made me nervous for my first
I
Let's
know.
Play because I heard they can be kind of awful about things
Yeah.
at times. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it turned out great.
Does anyone here know that Northern Line used to have like 40 episodes up of an Assassin's Creed Let's Play?
Used to?
Yeah.
So are they not up now?
No, Ubisoft took them down.
No.
Yeah.
I hate Ubisoft.
Wait. What happened now?
Northern Lion? Well, you could go ahead, Yessik.
Ubisoft is kind of a dick when it comes to their games sometimes. And a while ago, Northern Line used to have a Let's Play of Assassin's Creed up, and Ubisoft pinged him and took them all down.
That is crazy. Well, it's not that crazy, but I hate
That is stupid.
big developers. Indie games are the future.
Oh man! Speaking of which, I have like this this preview copy of Machines of War 3 that I have not touched. There was an embargo on it, but I didn't even play it before the embargo, and now it's out, and I don't even know where it's available. So I feel really bad because they sent it to me.
Wow.
I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, sorry. That's besides the point. Back to gaming news and things.
Let's see. What were we just talking about? Okay. No, seriously. What were we just talking about?
I can't remember
idea.
because, believe it or not, for the last half hour, I've really had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, do you want to go real
and I
fast?
just don't-
Like we can just.
No, I'm good. Just keep going. It's getting me talking really fast.
I mean, we really can wait if you need to.
No, seriously, Let's Players, if you need to go to the bathroom and you can hold it, just hold it because it makes you talk so much more effectively.
That's really true. All
It
right,
is.
well, we'll continue then. All right, so probably about 4 years ago, there was a first-person shooter made by 2K that was revealed, and it was an XCOM first-person shooter, which is really interesting because XCOM was always known as a tactics game. And so it kind of fell off the charts after that one XCOM game came out, because it wasn't the same one that came out, as a lot of people were confused about. So
I thought it was actually canceled and the new one was the new one.
No, it actually wasn't. People were in an uproar about the first person one, and news just stopped about it until maybe a week ago, and then there was the new one, of course, and people were like, "It's such a great game," and I'm honestly terrible at it. I love it, but I'm terrible at it.
I've beaten it a couple times.
I'm just so bad at it. Like everybody, I'll have full cover, and an alien will shoot me in the weirdest place, and I'll just like instantly die. It's terrible. I'm playing on, I think, normal. I don't know, and I have terrible accuracy. I can't hit a single alien. I'm just terrible at that game.
There's a bit of a learning curve when it comes to the micromanagement of units, because you really do have to kit every individual unit out to increase their accuracy, to increase their defense, to increase their cover.
Yeah, that must just be why I'm terrible. I thought about doing a Let's Play for it, but I never did.
I started one, but then there was like nobody watching, so I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. But what was I talking about before that? Something that related to it.
Dinosaurs.
The other game, the first-person shooter.
So, about a week ago, almost all of the videos related to it have been like pulled off of YouTube, so you can't see the trailer or anything anymore. A ton of articles about it have gone down, and so people figured, oh, it's just been canceled. But the same day that everything was pulled down, or it may have been the day before, 2K had licensed stuff named like The Bureau and a bunch of other stuff. And also, you guys have seen the trailer, right? Yessik, you sounded like you had back a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm way back in the day, though.
So you know how there was like that big black cube shooting stuff down or whatever?
Yeah.
Basically, there were these boxes that were sent out to random game companies or reviewers, whatever. And so it had like film in it, like from old film cameras and everything, and it like had that black box on it, like shooting stuff, and it also had like all these like really dated papers and stuff. And this was just like sent out just like yesterday, or people received it. So despite the game being quote unquote canceled last week, people are receiving stuff about it now. So I think it's just going through a name change, and I think it's going to still release, which I personally think is a cool thing, because I thought the game looked really interesting.
To be honest, I can't even comment on that. I haven't heard anything about it.
I think there were only 2 announcements about it.
This may be like the news article section of this podcast.
I guess so. But basically, that, like I said, I think there were like 2 full announcements on the game. There was that initial release trailer that it basically looked like, for those of you who haven't seen it, it basically looked like BioShock if you gave it a new look, sort of like it,
cyberpunk skin.
Yeah, it felt, just watching it, it felt like it was BioShock almost, except brighter, took place in the early 20s and had crazy technology, which describes the new BioShock, sort of. Not really. Sort of, I guess. But I'm rambling now. So
it does, but along a different parallel line.
Yeah. But the game looked really nice. And then there was another video that came out about it, which last I looked, it was actually still on YouTube. It probably isn't anymore since they were pulling them all down. But it had the cool squad management like the other XCOM games have had. And since it's a first-person shooter, I feel like I'll be better at this one than XCOM. As I said earlier in this podcast, I am just terrible at real-time strategy games. I guess it's technically not a real-time strategy. XCOM isn't, but it's close enough.
It's a TBS, turn-based.
I guess I'm good at some turn-based strategies. I actually like turn-based strategies, but
I'm a big fan of old Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, I actually
the
still
original.
have the original sitting on my PlayStation behind me.
I have a digital copy, but not the original disc copy.
I actually got the disc copy from my ex-cousin.
Your ex-cousin? You broke up with your
No,
cousin?
No, not like that. Like a removed cousin. Like my.
Okay, I got it.
No, I will.
The term ex-cousin kind of had me confused for a second there.
But so the game isn't disappearing, and it looks really good. Like you've got the same. It almost looks like the same squad system is XCOM Enemy Unknown, but I figure it'll be slightly different. And supposedly it's going to be released under the name The Bureau or something along those lines. And I think
That sounds pretty...
Go ahead, sorry.
Could be awesome, but the reason there's all this rage isn't that... There was a lot of rage when it first came out, right? When previews were first shown. And the reason for that is not because... Why are you killing all those bighorners? Why are you doing... Okay, sorry.
That was the rage.
The reason behind it isn't because they're making a first-person shooter. The reason behind it is because XCOM was such... It was its own thing. It was very much this turn-based strategy game, and it always has been, always will be, and it was always balls to the walls hard. But most of all, the fans liked that it was turn-based strategy. So it's a bit like if a Mario came out that was a first-person shooter.
Well, there is a Mario shooter.
Yes, but that is a piece of fan-made bullshit. If I may say so myself.
I'm trying to think how a first-person Mario shooter would actually be.
I was about to say a Sonic shooter, but I forgot that's actually been done officially.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
Shadow
the Hedgehog. Man, I bought that game like the day it came out, and...
Threw it away the next day.
I think it was the same day.
Never touched it again.
Man, I remember I was so into Sonic then. Like, I was at Target. I don't know if they have Targets up in Canada.
They have one or two.
Okay. But I picked up every single Sonic game they had that day, and I just sat there and played Sonic. And then when I got to Shadow, I was like, "What is this mess?" It was so bad.
It was a predecessor to Sonic 06. That's what the fuck that was.
Man, I was so disappointed.
Oh.
Anyway, we were talking about XCOM. How did we get to Sonic?
Basically because of general betrayal.
General betrayal?
Yeah, general betrayal. Like I said, they could make a really good XCOM shooter. Like, it could happen, and it might happen. But either way, the fans are going to feel incredibly betrayed.
Yeah, that is true.
And that's why all the rage was there.
I feel like it will be good, though. I think it should have been branded a different name, though, other than XCOM, because it's not traditional to XCOM in any sense, except for the fact that there is extraterrestrial stuff attacking, but it's not even the same aliens that we've seen in any XCOM series so far. So...
The other thing is... sorry, I'm very distracted by a lurker here, just, like, killing off this entire caravan. But... the thing is, it can be done properly. Like, you can take one genre and turn it into another. Final Fantasy Tactics, for example.
Yeah.
Except it just doesn't work when you do first-person or third-person shooter. It just doesn't. People don't like that. As can be told by the reaction to XCOM, the first-person shooter, and B, the reaction to Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. Anyone remember that shit?
I remember it, but I honestly never played it. I looked up the beginning, and I looked up to the end.
I thought it was okay.
Yes, it was very much okay. But you remember, at the time, Final Fantasy games were actually good. People expected more than okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Now okay or less than okay is a standard for Final Fantasy.
Is really a plus to Final Fantasy. If it can do less than okay these days, that's nice. I really had a fun time with it. 50-hour endless.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry, Yessik. Well, have you seen Final Fantasy 14?
No, I haven't even heard about that.
Oh, you mean
it's because it was a failure.
Oh no, yeah, I have the MMO, right?
God, I mean, it's like, beautiful graphics, shit gameplay and controls. It's just like, what are you doing?
You're talking about the MMO,
Final
right?
Fantasy.
Oh yeah, the worst MMO ever made.
You know what should have happened with that MMO?
And put down that naked woman.
Mog houses, and then the game would have been perfect. I don't care about anything else in Final Fantasy 14 or 11 except Mog houses. That seriously is the one thing that I've been disappointed that hasn't been introduced into any MMOs properly yet is player housing. Like,
Yeah.
I still love to play .hack or get into the lore of .hack, like reading the books and stuff, just for the fact that I think that's almost how an MMO should be. I feel like I talked about this with someone on this podcast before, but
You were talking to me.
okay, I was right. Were you the
Yeah.
person that was like, I want it to be face to face or whatever?
What?
Maybe I was talking about it in a different podcast then or something. I don't know. But somebody was saying that the only reason why they didn't want it to be like, I remember who I was talking to. It wasn't in a podcast. It was one of my guild people in Guild Wars 2. But they were saying that they would want an MMO sort of like .hack, but they would want to be like face to face actually with the person in the game or something like that. I didn't fully understand what he was saying, so I'm probably giving a bad interpretation. But I want a game like .hack. I really do.
What?
With proper proper player housing, and
I
go ahead, Yessik.
Oh no. Proper play house, and I was just going to interrupt you and go on a different tangent.
That's fine. I was rambling anyway.
Basically, what I want, and I'm not sure this is going to happen, and I don't even think this is going to happen, but what I want to happen eventually is full immersion in video games, meaning like not just Oculus Rift, but just it's been there around since the Matrix. Send your mind into a video game.
Yeah.
That is what I eventually want, and I have no idea whether it's possible or not.
It'll be possible.
And it makes me
probably
sad.
within the next 50 years. I mean, look at Oculus Rift. That just happened out of like nowhere. I'm pretty sure full immersion will happen at sometime soon.
Except even the beginnings of the technology don't really exist currently, which is the problem.
That's true.
Like Oculus Rift, the beginnings have existed forever, right? We've had TVs or screens
Yeah.
or... So we'd have to either develop a branch of technology further or come up with a new branch of technology. It would be weird.
Have you actually looked much at the Oculus Rift yet, though?
I am really hoping to get one, again, because I am a funder for Star Citizen.
Yeah, I will definitely be getting one. Did you see the video of the guy's grandma playing it or whatever?
Yeah, that was awesome. Grandma playing Oculus Rift.
It's so real! What was the place that she was saying that she was in?
It was like a beach and I forget.
She kept saying something about Venice or something. I don't remember.
You have to leave like tons of video links in the description.
Yeah,
You
I
better
have to
remember
leave
all these.
So many. Like, for once, I'm actually going to watch my podcast just so that I can get all the video links. And this is like a 4-hour podcast at this point. Okay, no, it's not. It's probably 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh God, we should probably close it out.
Yeah, we're pretty much on its last leg anyway. Games that we're going to be...
Have fun editing.
editing. Okay.
I have the full video just available and ready if you want it. There's no editing on my end. Of course, there are some weird times where I just randomly switch pages, so the background goes strange for a second.
Oh, that's fine. I'll probably I could probably just strip the audio from it, and I don't know. I'll figure it out. But all right, so we'll run through this last thing quick. Games we're looking forward to in the upcoming future. Monaco.
Yeah, pretty much it.
That's it?
I guess, Gentlemen, You Are Being Hunted.
Please tell me that's a sequel to... Is that a sequel to any previous games?
No, that is a game that was kickstarted.
I can't think of...
And, okay, Shovel Knight as well, I guess. Risk of Rain.
Yes, Risk of Rain. Oh, I love that game.
Gentlemen, You Are Being Hunted is a procedurally generated first-person shooter where robots hunt you through a like British landscape, and you try to escape.
That sounds fairly interesting. Is that a Kickstarter?
Well, it's finished. The Kickstarter is
Oh, okay.
finished, but basically you have like very limited resources: a rifle, some binoculars, and it's like an old flintlock rifle too, so you have a fucking shot. But you are like let loose, and these robots are hunting the most dangerous game and trying to kill you. Yeah, that's it, basically.
That does sound pretty interesting. I can see how it could go terribly wrong, but I'm sure it's actually good.
It could be bad. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it.
All right. Tim, what are you looking forward to?
Me? Shoot, I'm not sure at all, actually. Yeah, Animal Crossing.
Yes, we are little girls. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the reason that they actually were going to turn the Mr. Rossetti thing off is little girls actually did cry because of him. Like I'm not even lying about this. Like that is the honest truth. Little girls actually cried, and they took it out of the game.
That is awful.
That actually is making me kind of laugh a little bit.
Sometimes if I get a game, I gotta just juice it for all the dialogue in it. So I'm probably gonna do that with Animal Crossing, and that means that I'll have to have that setting turned on, and I will reset my game so many times that Mr. Rossetti will just repeat himself. And he talks on.
You know what?
Forever.
You have fun with that.
It's gonna happen. It will.
I remember. Was he the one in Brawl?
Was he in Brawl?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you could get it as an assist, like as assist trophy. So
Yeah, and he would just cover the entire screen with dialogue, and it would be bullshit.
That's pretty much what he does in the game.
Yeah. Nobody can see anything anymore, and you're all like, "I'm trying to fight."
Hey, at least it's not like the Nintendo dog puppy, okay?
What did the puppy do?
Just cover up the whole entire damn screen and.
I remember now.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I haven't played Brawl since like the day it came out. I have a story about that. I don't know if I should tell it because we're already going on forever.
Yeah.
We'll save it for next
All
time.
right. All right. What are you?
We'll have a Brawl discussion someday.
The what?
We'll have a Brawl discussion
We should
someday.
have just one podcast completely
About
dedicated
Brawl.
to Brawl.
Oh, yeah, we can play Brawl while we're doing it. It'll be
I
awesome.
don't even know if I still have it. Like, I don't know. Like, with each console I get, like, the last console just kind of goes missing.
Okay, fair enough.
Except for my
anyways.
PlayStation. Anyway, yeah, moving on. Lurkin, what games are you looking forward to?
I think I've said this way too many times. Last of Us.
The Vector Man remake. I'm just kidding.
I like Last of Us. I forgot to mention that.
The thing I'm going to take one of those games off my list, which was Army of Two, Devil's Cartel. I know it already came out, but after reading a bunch of reviews and everything on the game, I have decided not to get it. And it was only for one reason, and one reason only. If you're familiar with the Army of Two series, they got rid of the aggro meter in the Army of Two series in Devil's Cartel.
There were actually a lot of complaints about it. Besides that.
Well, that's the one because that was the first complaint, and I just flipped out and I closed the page and I said I'm not getting the game.
Yeah, that was like the only innovative thing that game did.
And I mean I'm not like I said earlier, I don't hate PewDiePie at all. I don't hate him at all. I mean I
kind of do.
It's not it's just the way that they chose to advertise their game. They didn't choose anybody who was going to look at the game from a technical standpoint rather than just walking around and screaming. But I am looking forward to Among the Sleep.
Is that the one that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, it is an indie survival horror game in which you take the place of a child looking for his mother.
Wait, is that the one where you're like you're not a baby, but like
you're like a toddler.
No, they got
Hey,
PewDiePie
wait.
to cover
Is that the one where you?
Yeah, they got
But
PewDiePie
it's such
to
a good
advertise the
looking
game.
game.
Yeah.
Wait a second,
It's
guys.
really good looking.
I have to bring something up. Does anyone remember the original PS3 controller with the baby?
Yeah.
Or
Oh
PS3
god, that scared the shit. out of
commercial.
me.
Sorry, I said
Yes, I
controller.
do remember
the
that.
commercial. That was horrifying.
Oh.
Link that shit too. Just put a link in.
I will link that.
This is
I'm gonna have to start making a list.
You're gonna give our viewers nightmares. You shouldn't do that.
All right. Any more games?
Other than that, that's just about it. Oh, well, of course, Machine of Pigs.
See, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that.
For Amnesia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I
I have mixed feelings.
have mixed feelings about the Amnesia series just altogether. I bought the game before it got all popular and all that mess. I'm not trying to sound like a hipster when I say that, but I feel like I am a hipster now.
It's not because you're. It's because that a lot of people only bought the game because it was a hype.
Yeah, and so I started playing the game, and I just didn't have the patience for it, and I didn't get to any scary parts or anything, so I stopped playing it and never played it again.
It's very Lovecraftian in nature.
Which is really weird for me, because I usually love anything that's Lovecraftian.
But Lovecraftian does not equal good early game gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, even Lovecraftian does not equal very good early game books. Like, what, do you usually read like 9/10 of a Lovecraft story before anything crazy happens at all?
That's almost how I felt with Bioshock Infinite, honestly. Maybe just because I wasn't paying that much attention to detail, which I'm an idiot for, but then once the ending came, I was like, whoa, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
It was the same thing at the end of Heavy Rain. It was just like, oh my god, that like.
No, I suspected that all along.
I kind of suspected it.
Like,
but
from the very moment I
ending.
saw him, I was like, he is the origami killer. Spoiler.
But it was just like it ended the way I wanted it to. It was like that Saw ending. You know what I mean?
Did you have
It's
everybody
just like,
live? Okay.
Yeah, I did. Well, my second time playing through, I did.
And by everybody, we mean... Never mind. I'm not actually going to spoil it.
I would also like to mention that I found it kind of a cop... Like, it makes sense, but it kind of sucks that every time you play through that game, the character who did it is the same.
Yeah, because I was expecting it to change depending on the choices you made.
That would have been really awesome if that did happen.
Yeah, because it did... Like, because then you get a bunch of different stories, and as is, you get the same story over and over again with just different people dying.
Yeah.
Now, this is a big spoiler, and I'm saying spoiler alert, but did any one of you freak, if you played it through as many times as I have, which is like
I only
3.
did it once.
Okay. Did any of you freak the fuck out when you saw that the FBI guy's eyes were bleeding during the last part when you were in the augmented reality?
That only
glasses?
happens if you use it enough.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You only have to use it once for that to happen, because he will OD on it.
Well,
regardless
for me,
of
he
how
only
many times
started
you use it.
a slight nosebleed, and then I was like, oh, I better get out of this mess, and so I stopped.
No, he just because I used it I used it once. The second time, it didn't even give me an option. He just pulled it out of his pocket and went to town.
Now, if you use it a ton in the early game, does it actually affect you at all?
That's what I say. You only have to use it once.
No. I
If
mean,
you use it,
you know
if
how
you-
like
if
at
you
that
do-
point where you said that you were bleeding, though, like how you started.
Yeah,
bleeding.
because that's what kills him, because it's the tryptophan.
No, I understand that that's what kills him, but do you think the more you used it in game earlier, not necessarily at that one part, that's what was affecting him?
Yeah, it was. Because I made him use it the first time it showed up. The second time I told him not to. And then the third time he was just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if you just refrain from using it whatsoever, then he'll live.
Anyways, I hate to be the voice of reason here, because I'm usually not. But we're closing in on like 2 hours 45 minutes here.
Nobody's even gonna get through the whole entire thing. It'll take them like a year to do it. Let's do 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Anyway, I keep rambling. All right, so we're gonna close then. All right, thank you guys for coming on here, and we had Yessik Ziiiq. Check out his YouTube channel; it'll be linked. And we had LurkinMcClerkin. He'll be linked also.
What's that?
And we had Tim. I was gonna say his full name, but then everybody's gonna stalk him.
Just Tim.
Yes, just Tim. And thank you everybody for watching. And if I can figure out how to stop recording, then that's gonna happen. But until then, anyway, thanks. Bye.